Hey, everybody.
Howdy, howdy.
All right. Uh, the it's going. We are now on the studio. Yeah, we're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you? Uh, Good evening. It's Thursday night, which means Docking Bay 94. I'm Sean Crosby,
Jeff Soledad,
and we are all still kind of sequestered.
Yeah.
Lower. You have half a screen? Oh yeah. Oh, you do. That's weird. Lean to the right.
Oh dear. I knew it.
Yeah, lean to your right. Wow, you vanish. That's weird. Yeah, there's something going on. I'll fix it. I'm good at that. All right, let's see. Here, if I bring you, it should be fixed now. I think it's just a stacking issue. It's cause Jeff's cam is bigger than his little box, and he was overlapping you. So you had a Star Tours star speeder in your face.
I do.
All right. Let me give Jeff a little more volume here. Say hey, Jeff.
Hey there, ho there. Howdy, howdy.
Okay, sounds pretty good. I think we can make that work. And anyway, yeah. So we're still kind of winging it over here.
I gotcha.
Yep, that is how it goes. Because how is your wife doing, Jeff?
She's doing a lot better. Yeah, so she's actually basically, I think, over it. She just has like a lot of after effects of it, being like really, tired and such. But,
Right. But
yeah.
but she's been on the mend at least for a week, which is good.
Yeah, she's doing a lot better, and
Great.
I think she's going to actually go out to a store tomorrow. So,
Wow.
Has she been well long enough? I mean, there were like
yeah,
guidelines that you're supposed to follow. Okay, great.
Cool. So
I think so.
so you haven't gotten sick,
No,
and Serena just seems to have like a cough.
she had it was like 2 nights ago or whatever was the last of it, I think, and it was like a weird headache with a low fever. And the first night she had sort of like a stuffy nose thing, and she couldn't get any sleep. And then the next night there was no stuffy nose, but she still had the headache.
Hmm.
And as far as I know, that all that's now gone. So she
Oh,
has
good. Okay.
like a 2 days of nothing, bam, But
Well,
yeah,
so the last
Christina
time.
and Kevin are fine too.
Oh,
So
good. Well, the last time we saw you here in the studio, you're like,
yeah,
we might be sick. So
yeah,
we've been sort of self quarantining for 14 days.
yeah.
So this is the end of that. And
Yeah,
so
today's our last day of
so
quarantine.
tomorrow, yeah, we're out and about. And so Colleen says she's going to make some masks because it's been suggested that everybody wears masks when they go out.
The
Yeah.
Or
mayor of Los Angeles said that we should be wearing masks when we go out.
right. And so cover your face. And so you can use a bandana, you can use a mask, whatever, but just, go ahead and cover that, which would be good. And then
Yeah,
what I was going to do before the quarantine thing, I still want to get blood. And so since we don't seem to
gotcha.
have any symptoms, we should be okay. And
Mm,
and so I'm gonna go give blood probably next week sometime and figure out what they
Well, you have to make
what
an appointment
what
to
they
get blood
need.
now.
So yeah, so I'll ask them. I want to ask them
gotcha.
if they need platelets more or if they need
Yeah,
plasma more. That's I'll let them decide.
I'm
yeah.
apparently low volume.
You're low volume. Okay. Well
I
we
could put it right here.
well
Oh,
we have. Oh wait, hold on.
pardon me.
Talk again.
Here I am
There,
talking.
you're great.
Great. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so we'll I want to do that, which is sort of like my main goal. And then I mean the rest of the stuff we're still kind of on lockdown. We're only supposed to go out when we need to.
Yeah, you're only supposed
Yeah,
to go out if
exactly.
it's absolutely necessary. And we're
Yeah,
honestly, we have enough food for right now,
Yeah.
so I don't see going out for food for another couple of days, although it
No.
is time to menu plan.
My only real need to go out kind of a thing.
It's because you want donuts and
is that-
hamburgers and
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
I do. I'm going to get all of those.
So
Yes.
the
I'm going to roll in Taco Bell.
yeah, I've had to go to the store a few times for like groceries and stuff, and have been asked to go to like Trader Joe's like twice. And because the first time I tried, there was a long line wrapping around the building.
Yeah.
And then the second time, same thing. But like all the other groceries I go to, there's no line.
Why didn't you just get delivery? We did that. I
Trader
put in
Joe's
a
delivery.
well. I mean, Trader Joe's isn't. It's not mandatory that you go to Trader. I mean, sure, I wanted to go to Trader Joe's too, but I
Yeah,
got delivery
Grubhub
from
or something.
Ralph's.
Yeah.
It took a little bit to get slotted into a position, but we were able to get a delivery.
Yeah.
Plus, kudos
I
and
mean-
yay and thank you because listener Eric dropped a bag of flour off for us because that was
And
the thing that was
That
freaking
was
me
the
out.
saving grace because so the problem with getting food from Ralph's was that we ended up with like a lot of substitutions and things.
You had like a vat of vegetable oil.
Right,
If
and-
anybody needs to borrow vegetable oil, I'm your hookup.
And so
man.
I wanted
Cheerio, Honey Nut Cheerios.
yeah, well, yeah, just Honey Nut Cheerios, which are a pretty basic staple kind of thing. And I ended up with a weird substitute cereal that was a mix of things, but it was still Cheerios and it was still Honey Nut, but it was regular Cheerios and Honey Nut Flakes and then like granola clusters, and it's grown on me. But to start, it was originally the cereal that like 3 cereals nobody likes alone mixed together.
Well, there you go. So that's how it has to
Which is
work.
Yeah. So, but they brought us ice cream, which was
That's good.
good. So
Yeah.
Well,
And M&Ms.
Spirit was in
There's-
store. Yeah.
We have a Ralph's
Restored.
restaurant nearby, basically, and that's where I've been going because there's like no one there, like hardly anyone in the store. You can walk right in, and yeah. So that's that. So I've been able to get what I need from there occasionally, and they finally put a limit on things now, so you can actually get eggs if you
Mhm.
need eggs. If you need milk, they actually have the milk, all that kind of stuff.
Gregor says that Jeff looks off. Well, Gregor, Jeff is going to look off for the next
For the foreseeable
I don't know,
future.
till
Yeah.
the end of May,
Yeah.
maybe.
Unless I figure out a way
June?
to get Jeff to be able to Skype in and steal the video off of the Skype.
Yeah.
I know.
He's-
Yeah.
He's going to look like BB-8 in some costume for quite some
Yeah.
time. So,
Yeah.
well, we are on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're on YouTube, but we're also on Facebook. They did all go through.
Oh, so tonight we are?
So tonight we are.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well,
we
we're
s-
on
we're on-
Facebook and YouTube.
And so
Holy crap.
Viewers.
Bill Taylor laughs, and Carrie Hartwick says that she's listening, and Michael Wine says, "Sup, Colleen,"
Oh, sup, Michael Wine.
and so yeah, so it's so that's
Oh,
fun.
can't see me.
It's so we've been having some internet problems. One of which
wow.
is that our speed has just been terrible, and so. Earlier this afternoon, I wasn't sure that we were going to get on at all because we were at like 1.1 of an upload speed.
We're on YouTube right now.
And when we, I called them and I had them upgrade our service
Right.
to the next level, and then Colleen's like, no, get the better level. And so we upgraded it again. So we should be getting 2400, which will probably be next week.
I'm not getting the stutters that I have been getting.
Yeah, it
recently,
seems to be
so
okay. Well,
that's
and,
good.
and one of the weird things is, so we've been doing this show, not on video, but we've been doing it by audio for 8 years. And because I didn't do this at the top of the show, I should tell you that if you're listening to us on Krypton Radio, at kryptonradio.com, you can also see us on twitch.tv/docking_bay_94. So you can watch us over there. If you are watching us on Twitch but would rather listen, you can go to kryptonradio.com. It'll automatically play. If you want to follow along, Kit Sovine does all of our cool social media things. Anything we talk about, she posts our links. That's up on both the Twitch chat and also in facebook.com/docking_bay_. No, I'm sorry, Docking Bay 94 radio show. There's a lot of these things. Docking Bay 94 radio show. It's all one word. Now, the confusing thing, the thing that I haven't figured out yet. So right now we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're on Twitch, and we're on Krypton Radio. We're doing 4 streams right now, which is not bad because our video looks clear, and
Wow.
we don't seem to be dropping anything. And so fingers crossed that everything is great. The difficulty with this is that the YouTube one is only going to my personal page, the Sean Facebook page.
Gotcha.
And I'm trying to figure that out. Docking Bay 94 on YouTube is streaming it, but the Facebook one is just going to my personal page.
Oh,
And I
okay.
can't figure that out. I will sort that out eventually. But for now, it is what it is. And so if you're over there watching, hi.
Maybe it'll,
Hi.
if we eventually create a page that's an actual group and not what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we have a Docking Bay 94 page. Maybe it needs to be a group. I have to figure out what we can do in order to get it over there. We may have to drop the Facebook one just because we can't put it under a Docking Bay 94 banner. I don't want it just on my page. I mean, admittedly, it's better than nothing, but there's 3 of us, so. And I can't get it to more than one Facebook page.
Although it's called Simple Stool Unboxing, so that's a little odd.
I fixed that. It shouldn't be that. It's what, over on YouTube? It's doing
No, Sean Crosby is live now on Facebook. DB94 Simple Stool Unboxing.
I don't know why it did that. It's just weird. It's complicated. We're figuring it out. The unboxing thing was this weekend. We decided to do one as a test. When I set up all of these various feeds, I did an unboxing as a test, and we did the Simple Stool thing, which was the cool expandable.
You should have said Simple Footstool.
I should have, but it's not a footstool, and that was the name of the product. Was that? And then we did Captain Rex, which was cool. So we did end up with a cool Captain Rex.
Again, for all you travelers, smugglers, and bounty hunters out there, the name is DJ Rex.
So we had DJ Rex, which was cool. He's an RC thing. He's a little skittish, but he's fun.
Welcome aboard. This is the DJ speaking. Make sure you're on your
It was kind of funny because Sean had music playing out of DJ Rex, and it was music that wasn't appropriate to DJ Rex.
Well, I was playing disco. Yeah, so he was playing like
but
ABBA.
you also it was something like I don't know, very dreamy.
Oh, maybe I don't know. Colleen made the request of Disco Inferno, and so that's what I started with.
Yeah.
And I did play. You were listening to Pride and Prejudice.
Right,
And
that's what it was.
I played Pride and Prejudice out of it, one of the books on tape. And so it started out with dreamy music, and then it started with the book.
reading Pride and
Right.
Prejudice. It was hysterical.
And whatever the famous opening line from Pride and
Yes.
Prejudice was. But of course it was in a female British voice and not DJ Rex, and it
Right.
was weird. So,
Yeah,
It was very
of
fun.
course.
yes, not to say we don't have a sense of humor.
So last night, was it last night? No, it was the night before. We did, for Costumers Guild West, we did a movie night, which only went off with a great deal of help from Sean, but we watched Somewhere in Time on Cast, where we could make comments about what was happening in a little sidebar. So that was super fun. And we're going to do that again with, I think the next movie we're going to watch is going to be Austenland. And then I also did a sewing circle last Friday, an online sewing circle, which was on Google Hangouts, and it was much more difficult because on Google Hangouts, people tend to talk over each other, and it's like being on a conference call, except with video.
Right.
So, and then, but people are looking down because you have to do hand sewing. And so they're looking down at their sewing. They're not looking into their camera. And so they can't tell when somebody else is talking. So they'll look down at their sewing and they'll just keep talking. And
Yeah.
they're like, wow, I'm going to keep talking because nobody's interrupting me. But they just can't hear the other people who are trying to talk.
Yeah, it's awkward and weird, and there's
Yeah.
a technology thing where we kind of have to figure out what the best technology for the right job is.
Yeah.
And so, like, I know everybody's using Zoom right now, and I signed up for Zoom, and I have to tell you, all the amount of permissions that I needed to give Zoom made me super uncomfortable.
Yeah. And also I'm sorry that I didn't realize that you had downloaded Zoom because there's apparently a they can get in and steal all your passwords because of all those permissions that
Joy.
you give them.
Okay, yeah.
So you might want to take that back.
Get rid of that? Yeah, because
Yeah.
I thought, well, okay, everybody's using Zoom. I'm going to need it eventually. Let's set up an account. And it's like, we want all these permissions and this and that and the other thing. And then, yeah, I started reading up on it. And they were like that security hole where somebody jumped in. Apparently, there's like a 6-digit code that makes your particular Zoom session private.
Individual.
But the difficulty is it's real easy to crack.
Yeah.
And so, like
Especially if you advertise it.
right. And so my old school district, when I went to high school and when I taught at high school, Caneo Valley Unified School District, they had a district-wide chat apparently that somebody crashed and started throwing up pornography images and started yelling racist slurs, and they had to shut down the whole thing. And that was through Zoom, and that was pretty terrible. So I don't have a high opinion of the software to start. And then I signed up, and it's like, what is the name of your firstborn? Please insert blood through the hole in your mouse. It's like all of these weird requests.
That's terrible.
And I'm like, no.
But
no, it's
I
not.
kind of want to try Zoom for the next sewing circle because I don't feel like the Google Hangouts was super successful, even though I'm doing a Google Hangout tomorrow.
There's like 12 other ones that I'm looking into.
So
Oh, are there? Okay.
we use Zoom at work because of the coronavirus thing, so we can't actually go and have a meeting anymore.
Right.
In the same room. So they got Zoom, and it works. I'd say it works better than Google Hangouts, but I don't know exactly how much better. It's not as choppy.
Oh,
I
well, that's
guess.
good.
Yeah.
Pappy says that the unboxing was cool this week, but the best thing was Colleen giving Sean a cookie and then taking it back.
I know, isn't it? It's sad. I'm like, so this is what love is. Love is a cookie, and then Colleen comes and because I'm like, oh, I'm not going to eat it now, and she comes and she takes it away, and I'm like, that's your lesson for today. Love is fleeting.
I took it away because he was talking about how his hands were all over with this package from
Right.
China, and he
she
had to
didn't
be
want
sure
me
to
to
wash his
get
hands.
cooties on it. And yeah,
So-
which was
That's why I took the cookie away.
Yeah.
because the package
Granted,
came
after you touched it.
the package came from China, and I
We're all
had
gonna
to I had to wait like a week before I opened the package, so it would
Oh,
be, detoxed and safe, which was kind of weird. So because they say that there's like a 3-4 day thing where it'll live on plastic and things like that. So and in fact, when we got our groceries from the supermarket, it was quite challenging because we put gloves on, we dumped out the original bags, we took things out of the packages they were originally in. Colleen wiped everything down with like Windex alcohol.
I did
something.
not use soap and water to wash the fruit, which was the thing that people were objecting to for this
Right.
video that was going around of people sanitizing their groceries.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I just washed them in water.
But yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff that we have to do. That's weird. And as you can tell, we're on video, and like we keep touching our faces, which is
Yeah,
bad.
geez,
Although
good call, man.
we have been sequestered for 2 weeks. I think we're fairly safe. But
Yeah.
I have like a spiky thing that I'm like I'm scratching with the not my finger thing. It's like what was it, MASH? They had to keep scratching through their masks with
Oh, yeah.
like a pencil or something because they couldn't touch
Wow.
their faces. And yeah, it's interesting times. Interesting times as the
Well, and there's
curse
been all those
goes.
memes that are like, when I said I wanted to live through history, I was just kidding.
Right. Well, and so this is going to be one of those, defining moments for this generation is like, do you remember when we had the thing? And hopefully for most people, it will be just a remembrance of inconvenience and not a remembrance of loss.
With any luck.
They didn't like lose people and things.
Let's not talk about that on this
So.
show, because we want to let people get away from that for a little bit.
Well, too true.
Yes.
But
So-
we're still living that up. We had pizza last night. Colleen
We
made
did.
deep
Yay.
dish pizza, which was super cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
That I think I want to put some sugar in the dough though.
Yeah,
dough was a little salty.
It was a little salty. I
The
gotta say.
salty was actually totally my fault.
You told me in advance it was going to be
I
that way,
spilled the salt.
and I ate it anyway because deep dish pizza. Did you make it?
Nice.
Did you make it in the cast iron skillet?
I did.
You did, right on. It's kind of like the deepest dish thing that we've got that qualifies, but it was good. I used to work at Round Table Pizza, through some high school, some college, and so I'm a pizza snob because we used to make our own pizzas, which were like really really great, and this was good. This was quality pizza. Wow.
Yeah.
And it had pineapple on it. Thank you very much.
And ham.
And ham.
Yes. And it had, oh my gosh, it was
People
so good.
agree with ham.
had-
They are divided over the pineapple.
Yes. But
Yeah.
it had smoked mozzarella in it because before we got a grocery delivery, before we went into quarantine, I went and looked at the line at Trader Joe's and I said, I'm not standing that close to all those people. I will wait. I don't need groceries that badly. And then as I was driving home, I went, well, Bristol Farms is expensive, but I could get the things that I desperately need. Well, not desperately need, but I could get
What you
the
want.
things that I would like, you know. And so I went in and I wanted the mozzarella to make this pizza because we've had it twice. I bought enough to make 2 pizzas. And the smoked mozzarella was the same price as the regular stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was like, maybe $1 more total. And I'm never going to be able to go back to regular cheese again. I'm going to have smoked mozzarella on all my pizzas.
So spoiled.
Really good.
My goodness.
And it's kind of better. It's kind of better the next day. Like the cheese, it mellows or something like that. It's really good. So, Star Wars history. Take it, Chad.
Yay! Let's see here. Well, we'll go to the first one. In April 1st, 1979, Del Rey published Han Solo at Star's End.
Brian Daley. That was a really good book.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the
Yeah.
first Star Wars that we had got that wasn't directly connected to the rest of the movies and things, because we had Splinter of the Mind's Eye. And Han Solo at Star's End was great. And the most important thing, I think, about that, and the fact that Brian Daley wrote that, is that he went on to write the radio shows for NPR.
Yeah, at least the first 2.
Yeah, so that was... he had passed away, I believe, or was very ill by the time they went and did the third one. So,
Exactly.
neat.
Yeah.
What's
I
next?
remember reading one of those, so...
Oh, they were all good. They were all
Yeah.
really good.
The next one is March 27th, 1985. Billy D. Williams got a star on the Walk of Fame.
Very cool. I have no memory of that at all. I was
Wow, man.
busy being a high school student, and it's so like nothing. I was usually tuned into all things Star Wars. I completely went over my head. I'm like,
Well, you know what happens.
And what happened the next day?
The next day, literally, was the saga of the triple bill was played in 9 cities in the U.S. and Canada, so we got to see all the 3 originals again. As like
I
a
did not.
marathon, as you want to call it.
I have a button from that event.
See,
which
that's
was-
why you didn't know about Billy D. Williams, because you were standing in line for the...
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, see? That's
We
what the
were
problem is.
much
Triple
much
bill.
excited.
I don't think I saw any triple Star Wars movies in 1985.
No, but I don't know if you went with us to this, but
In 1985?
not
no.
no. Let me finish.
Okay.
Not 1985, because I already said no to that
Okay.
one, and we didn't know each other.
Oh, dear.
But at the AMC in Pasadena in the late 80s, I know I went with Jeff Barsky at least.
To see Star Trek?
No, to see Star Wars. They did a
Oh.
triple screening
I-
for charity at
Yeah.
I
AMC.
Unless... No, I didn't.
Yeah.
The first time that I went to see those, I didn't get to see all 3 movies. And it wasn't Star Wars, it was Back to the Future. It was the Back to the Future back to back to back, and my boss wouldn't
Nice.
let me leave work early. So I only got to see Back to the Future back to back.
Man.
It
And
was sad.
the thing is that, and this is terrible of me, I have seen Star Wars so many times in the movie theater that sometimes they like all kind of bleed together.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to remember which theater it's screened in.
The one in Pasadena?
No, not the one in Pasadena. It was, I think I saw it in Westwood. It was at the Egyptian, and it was in Westwood. And I think I saw it in Westwood.
I saw the triple bill at either, but not 85. They did it again, or at least at the theater near me, they did it again before the special editions.
No.
I think it was either Irvine. It was either the Irvine Theater that I went to, or it was the Cinedome, whatever in Orange. But I can't remember which of the two.
Yeah, but see, I also saw Star Wars at the Egyptian, and so I'm like, yeah.
So basically, you've seen Star Wars in all the theaters.
I've seen it too many times, honestly.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I believe in a theater that I have surpassed 400 screenings of Star Wars, because I spent the entire first summer that it came out going to the movie theater, and I just, just like way too. It's like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, where they just like accrue. You like go every single weekend, and then you realize you've done a couple of hundred of those, and you're like, damn, really? I need a life.
Alrighty.
Yes, it is exactly that.
Rise of Skywalker, honest trailer. I didn't watch this. Was it any good?
I didn't see it.
I don't remember.
Well, I think it just came out, and it just came out in relation to the DVDs which just came out for Rise of Skywalker. So everybody on my Facebook feed is like, I'm stuck inside, but that's okay because I got the giant 9-movie set of all the Star Wars movies, and it's called like the Skywalker Saga, and it comes with a giant book, and it comes with like 25 hours of movies and 24 hours of special features or something. It's like absolutely huge. And it would be interesting if we didn't already own so many different copies of Star Wars.
I know, jeez.
So,
And honestly, the thing about people saying I'm stuck inside, I am very, very fortunate that I'm able to work from home. But it's on the other side of that coin is that it's frustrating to see all the things on Facebook where people are saying, I'm doing all these billion things, I'm getting all this work on costumes done, and I'm doing all this, and I'm like, I'm not.
Colleen's like, I have to work.
And I mean, I'm working from home, so there's a half an hour less in commute time because I am also fortunate that I work really close to home. And, but like at the end of the day, when you add in the stress of worry on top of all your regular work, I'm exhausted by the time I'm done working. So, and then, we've been doing these CGW and DB94 videos. So it doesn't feel like there's a lot of extra time. Lego is coming out with a couple of new sets.
But before you move on to Lego, though, I wanted to mention that that set that I was just talking about is $250. Just so you know.
Oh, the
the 9-movie Skywalker Saga set. Yeah.
Yeah, and we already have.
Which is 4K. If we were going to Ultra HD and wanted 4K versions of them, I would do that. But we have Disney Plus, and they're all in 4K on Disney Plus.
So anyway, Lego has 2 new sets coming out. There's a Dio, the little wheelie cute robot from Rise of Skywalker, and a 501st Clone Trooper set.
Yeah, which has been a set that people have been waiting for a pretty long time. I have my doubts about the Dio set because I'm not sure that he was the, super cute, BB-8
He's not the hit that BB-8 was.
replacement, right? Exactly.
Mm.
So, but the model's pretty cool, but I don't feel super
The need to run out and get it.
inclined to pick it up. Yeah,
Well, no.
exactly. But the 501st set is pretty neat. Just for the 501st connection, but it's the blue and white clone troopers. So they're the baby killers. So I
Gross.
mean, what do I want a baby killer Lego set for?
No.
I mean, come on.
I do believe that I watched the fan-made Star Wars coronavirus PSA.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we did.
It suffered from Saturday Night Live syndrome.
Which meant it went on too long.
When it went on too long.
Yeah.
It was about. It could have had a third of it cut off.
Honestly, there are
Bummer.
two ways this could have gone. One was the super fun, family friendly, hey kids, we're all in this
It would
together
have been nice to have it be
kind
family
of thing,
friendly.
which is the way it should have gone.
Yeah.
The way
Yeah,
it
totally.
did go was FAR2D2 and C3PO being weird and rude and inappropriate, and
boy.
that
and
just
then it got weird.
it just took the fun out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it got disturbing at
Yeah.
the end. It
Yeah.
actually got disturbing. It was like, okay, 2/3 of the way in, and you thought it was going to end there. And then it just got unpleasant.
Yeah.
And, I like me some twisted comedy, but this was just not that good.
Yeah.
So, make up your own mind. But what they did do is they dug up the old public service announcement from C3PO and R2, where 3PO catches R2D2 smoking,
Oh, I remember that.
which was really funny. Yeah, it used to be on like a Saturday morning staple. It like came on in the same block with Schoolhouse Rock, which was always kind of funny. And C3PO freaking out, going, "R2, why are you smoking?" It's very funny. But and this could have been like that funny, and it just
it
got
wasn't.
weird.
Yeah.
And that made me sad because I caught it out of the corner of my ear. Colleen started watching it, and I walked over. I'm like, "Oh, that sounds fun." No, it's not. Okay. Oh well.
Yeah. So John says nobody planning solo sequel, and I'm going to assume that this was Jon Favreau, and
No.
that
John Kasdan,
Yeah.
who was the
John
writer
Kasdan.
for
Yeah.
the solo story.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is really just an answer to somebody's like Twitter question.
Like,
Yeah, I
when
really
are,
hate
when are we
headlines
going to
like
get another
this.
solo?
Why, like,
Exactly.
it's not even. Someone
it's
offhand
really-
says something, and then somebody else goes, "Oh my gosh, a celebrity said something," and so
Well-
they take one throwaway sentence and make it into an entire article, and then
Yeah.
80,000 other companies link to that article.
Right.
And it
Yeah.
becomes a thing when it's
Well,
really not.
the thing that about it that I see is that like people are like, "Oh my gosh, it's not going to happen." I'm going, "Well, no. This is his opinion that he doesn't see it happening because he has no involvement."
And
I'm like,
also, if who knows
What- I
if
don't
there
get it.
isn't going to be a solo sequel in like 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not going to be one this
Well,
month.
but if he's saying, "Hey, I've not been contracted to write one," then that's fine. And
Yeah.
but that's how it should be framed. But the problem is that people need clickbait headlines. And so, we don't get that in the headline anymore. It's just like, "Oh my God, it's never going to happen." Gloom and doom. That sort of frustrates me. And so, gosh, yesterday was April Fool's Day.
Boo.
And it is the day with which you take everything on the internet with a grain of salt because it's so easy to punk people now. And every year for the past, 15 years, somebody has gone online and posted an article or made a video or done a Facebook or Twitter post that says, Disney's going to release or Lucasfilm's going to release the original uncut, unedited Star Wars release videos. Finally, we've been waiting for this forever. Every year people fall for it. And
Well,
and
it'll
it's
be
like
after they do season 2 of Firefly, right?
right, exactly. And so, it's just sad. And people have to kind of stop. And this year, with all the things going on, April Fool's Day honestly should have been skipped.
Yeah.
Or if you do something for April Fools, do something innocuous. And I saw some mean stuff. Even one of our own DJs, but he's also done this for the past 2-3 years. It's the same post every year.
Yeah, it's this exact same
One
joke.
of our DJs went, "Oh my God, Patrick Stewart died. Rest in peace." And it's like,
That's not funny at all.
That's mean. That's
Yeah.
just mean.
Especially right now. That's,
Right.
So, like last year, I would have said that wasn't funny. This year, it's completely unacceptable.
Right. Well, and the thing that he said was that, well, the past couple years, people just went, "Ha ha, we know that's fake." But this year, people are vested in it because everybody likes Picard. And so everybody's watching this new series, and they're connected again to Patrick Stewart. He's on their radar
And
again.
people are dying.
Yes, and people are dying right now.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
People are dying.
Yeah.
Don't make jokes about people dying
And
because
and so that's tough. And I've also never been a fan of the
not funny.
fake pregnancy.
no,
That's
fake
never
pregnancy
never
is stupid.
been
And somebody
funny.
somebody who has in the past been associated with the Queen Mary posted a photo that if you looked at it, it was clear after a moment that it couldn't have happened this
Right.
way. But he posted a photo where the Queen Mary not just capsized, but like tipped over sideways and the smokestacks went over.
It like
and-
collapsed into the
And
hotel stairs
as if the hull of the ship had rusted through and the rest of the ship had collapsed into
sunk.
it.
Right.
And
Oh, okay.
it's less than a week after the historic ship down in Dana Point capsized.
Right. The
And-
Pilgrim brig.
Yeah, and the world is insane right now. And
Yeah.
so when I first saw it, I just like my mind went blank and I'm like,
Yeah.
the
Well,
Queen Mary
and
just
and
died.
it was a still frame from a video of a disaster movie where there was some giant wave that took out like most of
It's
Long
not
Beach and
funny.
things like that. But yeah, it was. And we just lost the ship, the Pilgrim, and it was a beautiful, tall ship. It was a recreation of a classic brig. It used to do all of the tall ships things in the area. Colleen and I have been on it, and it was really sad to see this thing sunk, even at low tide, where the thing was like down. It was resting on the bottom. It was full of water. It was keeled over like 45 degrees to starboard. It was just really super sad. And to pile the Queen Mary on top of that would have just been awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But isn't there still like at least a chance if they want to try to to raise it, or is it just
the
The
Pilgrim,
Pilgrim?
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
My understanding is that there is not, and even if there were the ability to raise it, everyone got laid off because of the coronavirus,
Right.
so they don't have the people to do it.
It's a money thing first off, and secondly, and this was the sort of anchor attraction for the Maritime Museum. I don't know, is it Dana Point? Is that where it is?
I'm not sure.
Something like that,
Somewhere
but
in
it's
Orange County.
it's the anchor attraction there. But they were supposed to put it in for a checkup and repairs in January. That got extended until October, and that extension basically cost it its life.
Yeah.
So yeah, total. I don't think they're going to be able to save it. If they can, that would be amazing. People I know associated with it don't have high hopes.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it was. It was really sad, and so I like a good April Fool's prank, and it's my mom used to get me every frickin' April Fool's because she'd come in, wake me up, I was groggy, and she's like, "Oh my God, look, it's snowing outside," and I'd rush to the window, and there'd be a parking lot. And, I fall for that stuff too. And it's like, haha, you're funny, yeah, whatever. But don't be mean. Just saying, don't be mean.
Don't be mean.
Yeah.
That's a
Don't
good
gotta
motto.
be mean.
Yeah.
Don't be mean.
Hey, Disney Plus Obi-Wan series has a new writer
Yeah.
whose name is Joby Harold. Does anybody know anything about that?
I didn't read that at all,
No.
but it almost sounds like Dobie Gillis, but it doesn't.
I'm just reading the headline here.
Okay.
But no,
Joby Harold.
I didn't see anything about that, but yeah, I mean, that's fine.
if you're not on Facebook, Manny Cruz just went, "Where's Jeff?" So
Yeah, there you go.
that's really funny.
And Kim verified that it's in Dana Point. the
Yes,
Pilgrim.
yeah, and
Okay.
Carrie said also that she couldn't keep watching that C-3PO thing. It
was pretty
Yeah,
bad.
it probably
really,
was just
really
disturbing.
rough.
Yeah.
So
So, yeah. Let's see here.
We were talking
I'm
about
looking at it.
Joby.
Yeah. Yeah, Joby Harold.
yeah, I don't know where
Yeah.
Joby Harold
Gosh.
comes from. Let me take a quick look here, because although it's
He's replacing somebody else, but I don't see what else he's done.
yeah, I know. How do we spell his last name? Harold, like
Yeah,
Harold.
just
Okay.
how it sounds. Yeah.
So looking at Joby's IMDb credits, he was a producer and writer known for John Wick Chapter 3, Edge of
Yeah.
Tomorrow, which Colleen and I very much liked.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Well, that's good.
That was
I
the
thought you were saying that was the subtitle of John Wick 3.
no. The subtitle of John Wick 3 is Parabellum.
Oh.
King Arthur something or other.
But Edge of Tomorrow was that really cool Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt movie that was not quite Starship Troopers, but
Yeah.
very much like Starship Troopers. That was
Well, could have been. I
was
told you.
really fun. And so
On that recommendation, I'd go see it.
he did Underground, yeah, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, and as a writer, he did The Legend of the Sword, Army of the Dead, and some untitled Transformers project.
Huh.
So we'll have to see.
Not that one, though.
But I don't know. Give him a shot. Let's see how it goes. Now, is he replacing the previous writer, or is he in addition to previous? Because
It looked like he was replacing.
because The Mandalorian had a whole bunch of writers on it.
Yeah.
And
It looked like he was switching them out, but maybe it's just for the pilot or something.
maybe. I don't know.
Anthony Daniels explains every C-3PO costume.
That I didn't see, but that's got to be fun. And I have to
Me
say,
too.
I was fortunate enough in 2005 to be working on a commercial, and Tony Daniels was playing C-3PO.
So that should be a DB94 watch along.
Yeah, maybe. So, and it's Wired magazine put this up, and so in 2005 they did the series of commercials for Orange cell phones out
And this is
in
an
the UK.
hour-long thing.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's 50
Yeah.
minutes long.
Goodness.
Wow.
So if anybody wants to watch along with DB94, let us know, and we'll do that, and we can chat off to the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, that would be fun. So they did a series of commercials over at the Great Western Forum. They made a fake Star Wars convention, and Tony Daniels was there. And he came up to us in advance, and he
Yeah.
said very specifically, because we had all been forbidden from taking pictures with him by the crew. I mean, the guy came over, the director and stuff, and he's like, under no circumstances are you going to do this, and blah, blah, blah. He was really kind of a jerk about it. And Tony came over, and he says, well, I know that I'm not going to see you later on, because if I spend all day in the costume, I'm going to be a right bastard, and I'm not going to want to talk to anyone. So let's say hi now, and we had this nice chat. And then we got to see him get suited up. And
Yeah.
so I watched them put the costume on him. There were just like a handful of us as they were suiting him up. He was in a black bodysuit, and they started snapping pieces on it. Really interesting. Really, you could see how uncomfortable this was. This was in 2005, so this was the suit that was made, I think, for the Revenge of the Sith and the sort of the last incarnation of it, where they had made lots of changes to it since 1977 to make him more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Just the fact that he's still that thin to fit in that stupid costume is amazing. 'Cause
Yeah.
the rest of us are all fat. Thank you very much. And
But when you have a costume that you really want to fit in,
Yeah,
it's worth it.
I
to-
guess so.
to
I guess
slim
so.
down.
So he and he was actually totally cool after the thing. But after they told us we couldn't take pictures, every single crew member took pictures with him in costume,
Aw.
and their family and their guest and their whatever. And we're like standing in the corner going, really? And but I'll tell you, And that wasn't Tony's fault. That was the director who was a dork. To
Yeah.
be fair though, Peter Mayhew totally made up for it. He was there. He was in the Chewbacca costume. He took pictures with all of us till everybody got a picture, and that was amazing. So and Tony actually came by. I just lost all my hard drive pictures, so I can't throw this up on the chat. But Tony came by and took a picture with us out of costume, which was great. And so I got a nice picture with him, and
That's nice.
it was fun. Yeah, so he was a super cool guy. So yeah, I totally want to watch this. We could do it as a watch along and chat and see
Oh,
things
yeah.
because
Totally.
yeah, that costume's gone through a lot of changes
Yeah.
over
Yeah,
time.
especially that red arm.
I just didn't even recognize him. I can't believe they'd make such a serious costume change like that. It just threw off the whole movie.
Well, it wasn't accurate to the time period.
You're right.
So
Well,
I don't know why they would do that.
I don't know.
It was a director's choice, though.
I blame
the
J.J.
costume
Abrams,
designer
really.
doesn't get to make those decisions.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all his fault.
Yeah. Theme parks.
Yeah.
What? Theme park.
Universal Orlando is postponing all monthly payments on annual passes, which Disney is doing as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like Disney might have their eye on Universal and go like, what's Universal doing? And we'll do it
I'm
too.
sure they all do. Universal's got their eye on Disney too.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
think
like having two
I
gas
think
stations
Disney
across the street
I think
from
Disney
each other.
closed first, and then I think Universal deferred payments first, and they're kind
Yeah.
of balancing out. But yeah, it's a tough call, and it's really interesting to see on my Facebook feed who's like, up in arms about stuff, going, oh my gosh, stupid Disney better not make me pay for whatever, and the people who are like, oh gosh, I hope they get it all sorted out, and we'll see what they offer us, and we'll just sit on our hands, and I know they'll take care of us, and it's very polarizing thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have somebody who was trying to get me to go with them. Do you remember the guys at FIT'em? One was dressed as Spider-Man, and one was
Yeah.
dressed as Superman or something.
Mhm.
And so I know these guys from other walks of life, and they're like,
One of them was Han Solo, and one of them was
Han Solo,
Spider-Man.
that was it. And so their birthdays are close to ours. In
Okay,
May,
sure.
and so they're like, "Oh, you have to come because your birthday's the same time. You have to come, and let's go to Disneyland." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
Maybe not this year.
And so they keep pushing it, and so they one of the guys sent a note, and he's like, "Well, I guess we're gonna have to go to Universal because Disney's still gonna be closed." I'm like, "I'm pretty sure Universal's still gonna be closed
too.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like I feel like we're not getting into Disneyland by July.
Yeah.
At the very
They
earliest.
not only postpone monthly payments for the annual passes, but they also, Sean's annual pass expires in the beginning of June,
It does.
but
Yeah.
now it will be pushed by however long Disney is closed for.
Right.
And they're also doing that with one-day tickets. So if you bought,
Oh.
like our friend Amy bought one of those tickets that's good for 3 uses,
Until
but you have to
May.
use it
Yeah.
before May, when the park opens, that
Yeah.
clock will start ticking again, and you'll get the same number of total days.
That's good.
Yeah, that was according to the announcement they made
Great.
today.
That's good. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Disney will take care of people and that Universal will take care of people. Knott's Berry Farm's doing the same thing. Magic Mountain has been closed, which is our local Six Flags park. All of those things, you don't want to upset your customer base, certainly.
Yeah.
And the parks are going to be pretty busy when they reopen. I'm seeing a lot of people. Our friend David just made a virtual visit to Disneyland.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
like
I
a
saw
Google
that.
Doc thing with clicks on it that you could go check
So
out the rides.
What he did was he took a map, one of the maps that you get handed
The
in the
fold
park,
out ones, yeah.
and he made it clickable. And when you click on, if you click on Main Street, you get a little video of walking down Main Street. It's
Oh,
really
see.
cool.
That's pretty cool.
He's
Nice.
calling it Disneyland Map Couch Tours.
And are they his
I don't know.
videos, or did he grab them from somewhere else?
I
or-
don't know. I
Okay.
only saw because he tagged us in it just before
Right,
the
right.
show
I haven't
started.
looked at it at all, so
And
Colleen's
so
already ahead of my
I
game.
peeked at one of the videos, and it was some people walking through the gate. I'm really not sure if he took
Okay.
the videos or if he scrounged them from around the internet.
Because it's a pretty interesting idea, and yeah, a lot of people I know are really really kind of like must go Disney, and of course you can't go anyplace. So it's
Must stay home.
I do like the people who've been doing the fake Disney attraction rides in their
Yes.
houses, where
Yeah.
it's like, their kids in an inflatable boat on a blanket, and they're dragging him through the house and doing Pirates of the Caribbean as they drag him through the
Yeah.
house,
Yeah, we talked about
which,
that last
which
week.
is fun. So yeah, that's kind of a good way to handle it. But yeah, Eric's like Disneyland withdrawals.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
It's pretty funny.
Let's see, what else do we have? Disneyland and Disney World are now closed indefinitely, which is not shocking because nobody knows when.
Yeah, it's
We're gonna
a
be able to-
bad word term. Indefinitely, forever.
Well, indefinitely doesn't mean forever.
I know, but I
There's
think
just no definite ending to when that's going to
It's-
happen.
It's
Well, and
basically,
you just
know,
can't make
further
plans.
notice kind of thing. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just can't make
But, I
plans
mean,
yet.
It's frustrating to everybody that we can't make plans, but on the other hand, there's no way to make plans. It's like Disneyland can't make plans either. They can't say when they're going to be open because they don't know how long we're going to be all stuck like this. And someone took a video of an empty Disneyland from Air 7. So there's video of...
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, ABC's thing or something, or whoever did it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird stuff, and I'm gonna send a link over on the YouTube or on Facebook, because Manny was saying that the Disney wasn't going to extend those things. So here's the article
Oh, no.
where they are
We
talking
got
about it.
a-
It's on
Serena got a letter.
Disneyland.com. Yeah, I imagine we'll get a letter shortly too.
Yeah, Serena got a letter from Disney saying that's not. No, they are extending and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Is happening.
And Kim Hellinger says that even the Magic Castle is closed.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
which
how
makes
could-
sense,
How could the Magic Castle be open?
Hmm.
It's a restaurant.
right?
I mean, it's a show lounge, particularly with the small theaters.
Right.
You can't have 6-foot distancing.
You know what they should do, though, just to keep the magicians working, is you should be able to order dinner delivered, and they do a little magic show on your porch as they deliver the thing, from 6 feet away. That would be totally
your
I'm
awesome.
sure
Zelda
they'd
spear.
love that.
It's not close-up magic. It's like medium distance magic.
Yeah. Oh, and apparently Disneyland announced today that it's going to begin to furlough their employees.
Yeah, I pretty much said that would start to happen.
Yeah.
I think I heard that they were still going to get paid up through like April 19th, but honestly,
Yeah,
in a lot
that
of
was
cases,
yeah.
there's like no reason to have them there. And I know a lot of people right now, like through my association, through the Battleship Iowa and things like that, who are
Yeah.
trying to apply for EDD and unemployment insurance. And it's really clunky right now. They're like having a
Yeah.
really hard time getting that kick started and going. It's for the first time in a long time, I'm kind of glad that I probably don't really qualify for that to go through that that whole thing.
Sean, do you want to talk about the Star Wars people who have passed away?
I do. We lost a few people. The first one of which is Andrew Jack. He was an actor who showed up in the last 3 movies as a major, who then he got promoted to general by the time he was in the last movie, but he was doing. He's an accent and dialogue and dialect coach, and so he was helping John Boyega. He was helping Diego Luna, people like that in Star Wars. His character was called Caluan Emmett, and he went from like Major Emmett to General Emmett over the course of 3 movies. He also did work in Captain America 1 and 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor 3, a couple of Avengers movies, all of the Lord of the Rings movies. And so he was responsible for bringing the Tolkien accents into all of the actors, especially like, the very American ones like Sean Astin and people like that. So he's had a pretty tremendous career. But sadly, one of the people that has to be counted as taken out by coronavirus, which is a bummer. We lost Tony Allen, who was a Star Wars actor. He was a snowtrooper, and so all of our guys who dress up in snowtrooper costumes should doff their helmets. I can't believe some of the people dress up in Southern California in those costumes. They're like fleece. They're like not designed for Southern California weather. And then the last one that we lost, Julie Bennett passed away, and she was a voiceover actress, primarily known for being the voice of Yogi Bear's paramour, Cindy, and she had done all sorts of stuff and whatnot. And she was in Dragnet and Leave It to Beaver.
Is she not a Star Wars person?
Get Smart. She's not a Star Wars
I
person.
thought we were limiting this to Star Wars people.
I don't know. She was on the list. I'm just going with it.
Okay.
But anyway, she did like Quick Draw McGraw, and she was Aunt May. If you remember the 1997 Spider-Man, she played Aunt May's voice and whatnot. So.
Just so we can update that, we decided that we're starting to lose so many people, and the news is so incessant everywhere you go that we're not going to be covering, unless it's something like really huge.
Right.
We're not going to be covering all of the people that we lose to coronavirus, because it'd
be the whole show.
It'd be the whole show, and it's too much.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying it was supposed to be just Star Wars people. But we'll do that next week.
Right, and no worries. And I'll cover some of those things like Adam Schlesinger, the songwriter, passed away. I'll cover those on Good Morning Tatooine and things along those lines too. Because we can do a more proper tribute to that. And honestly, I don't know if you remember 2016, where we lost all of these amazing people in 1 year. It was just awful. We're kind of trying to avoid that, because we're hoping to be a little bit of a respite from the normal world.
Right.
Exactly.
So there you go.
So now we have to stall for 2 minutes.
No, I'll just do the top of the hour now. It's not a problem.
Okay.
So if you guys are listening to us on the internet, you were probably over at kryptonradio.com, which is our main page. I always encourage you to go there, even if you don't, because that's where we have all sorts of news stories we put up there every single day that are geek-related stuff. Some of the memorials we were talking about are up there, as well as other ones that we haven't done. And we've got fun videos like the guys who built the Millennium Falcon drone and then flew it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lots of things like that. Movie reviews, which are mostly now things that are streaming because there's nothing in the theaters. And whatever entertainment news, book news, etc., and so forth. So go to kryptonradio.com, check that out. We have a newsletter you can sign up for, which is called Rocks from Space. So those will show up in your email box. You don't even have to go to the page. So do that. You can also see us over at twitch.tv/docking_bay_94. And you can find us and you can see us for whatever that's worth. We've got a lively chat going on over there too. If you are friends with me on Facebook, you can see us there. And then YouTube, we're over on our Docking Bay 94 account, although I haven't been able to get to that to verify that we're even on. So that's still kind of quiet, and I don't even think we have any subscribers to the page yet. So we're probably going to figure out a better way to do that too. But anyway, lots of ways to watch, lots of ways to listen, and we're trying to keep track of you guys over on YouTube and all these things for chat, so we appreciate you being there. I'm Sean Crosby.
This is Jeff Soledanaho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And we do appreciate all y'all tuning in. We've been doing this for nearly 8 years. In July, I guess, 8 years. And it's
Yeah.
been going on a while. And if you're over on Twitch or you're at our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/dockingbay94 radio show, all one word, and you see those links that are magically appearing, that is Kit, Boba Kit Sovine, doing all the links to things that we're talking about, so you are equally as informed as we are.
Or uninformed, as the case may be.
Right. Yeah. It's it's funny, and you're absolutely right. Where you're like, oh, we're at home, and we should be all caught up on everything, and we should be doing all of this stuff. But you've got work. You still have your 9 to 6 work schedule, or 8 to 6, or whatever it happens to work out to be, and you're doing that from the desk over there. And I'm doing the morning radio show, and I have been so tired lately that I've just been crashing in the middle of the afternoon. And so, like,
Well, you're still not going to bed at night. But
last night I went to bed at 1 o'clock,
yeah.
and I got up at 8:30ish to do the show, and then I went and I took a shower, and I'm like, okay, let's do the day. And I sat down for like a minute, and I fell asleep. It's
I've
rough.
just been sitting in this same chair
I know.
for all these hours. So.
Yeah, I mean, you've been there all day, which really
I've been
sucks.
here since 8 this morning.
Yeah.
I've now been sitting in the chair for 12 hours.
Yay. Yee.
Well, she did get up and make some cookies,
I did.
but she would get up, put the cookies in, come back, sit in the chair,
Yeah,
and then miss the timer when it went off.
right.
Yeah, but
They
she
were
didn't burn the
crispy.
cookies.
Yeah.
Have you broken into Eric's flour yet, though?
It's next.
It's next. Okay.
Yes, the next thing I bake is going to be
There you go.
dear.
that. Conventions. WonderCon, which was supposed to be in 2 weeks, I think, is going online.
Right, as
So-
most conventions seem to be.
Hey, it seems.
'Cause
I mean,
they-
like, there's that fake convention. There's Consolation. The
Consolation.
fake convention
right.
that's on Facebook.
Mhm.
But
That's weird.
I don't know how it's going to work with the conventions being online.
Well, I think what it's really going to amount to is they are going to curtail their programming, choose like the best panels that people will still commit to, and try to do those streaming.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how their celebrities, a lot of their celebrity appearances may just be limited to like videos shot in their
In their
den,
house.
going like,
Mm,
"Hey guys,
could
it's
be.
WonderCon. I'm so sorry that we're not having it, and we really miss you guys.
Yeah.
We'll see you at the next one. Bye."
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
I
yeah.
imagine a lot of those things will happen. And then they'll probably get some drawing demonstrations and things from some artists, and they'll probably get enough people together for certain panels to happen. But it's really based on like, how are people doing? How are people feeling? And do they really want to do this online?
Yeah.
But Emerald City Comic Con apparently did the same thing. News Con Zealand, is that what it's called? The World Con in New Zealand.
Yeah.
They are going online. All of the conventions are going online.
It's a week from now.
Yeah, and
So
I
it's the 10th.
I don't know how much the market will bear,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm.
we'll have to figure
Yeah.
it out. I mean, I'm always amazed that people watch us, so I'm sure they'll have a pretty healthy audience. People who are
Yeah,
like, I was
totally.
gonna go. I guess I've got the weekend free already. I guess I'll do that.
Yeah.
And
'Cause I had,
we're at home.
Yeah.
Go, Jeff.
I had heard, and I mean, I don't know where the article is, that they were still going to be doing WonderCon, but in October. Did that get canceled, or was that never even a thing?
Emerald City Comic Con found a new date to do their thing in October, I think. I'm not
So, like,
sure
WonderCon,
WonderCon has that.
WonderCon's webpage says WonderCon Anaheim 2020 is postponed, but you can now visit our online exhibit hall for links and information from our exhibitors, Artist Alley, and small press area creators and fan groups. So I think saying that it's online is not they're not actually doing their convention online. They're just providing you with links to the
Yeah.
people who would have been there.
Okay.
Right, which
Yeah.
is
and
a
it
nice.
still says it's
It's a nice thing to do
push.
for their vendors and for
Yeah.
people like that who were counting on that, where, you know, maybe they can pick up some purchases and things. And doing Artist Alley online is pretty good. But the
Yeah.
difficulty with postponing these things is that the venues that they were originally going to have it in, they book up fast.
Yeah,
And so
they do.
it's a really tough call. And we're
And then also you get the fact that there's already an event that people have planned to go to.
right.
So it's not only that it books up, but people also are already planning to do something else, possibly.
Yeah,
Right. Well,
exactly.
and we have like 4 or 5 events a weekend, assuming, you know, a normal operating year that's
Yeah.
not weird
Last
stuff
year.
like going on, like last year. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
got 4 to 5 events every weekend going on. There's 2 or 3 conventions, there are parades, there are shows. For the 501st and Rebel Legion, add to that a slew of charity events. There's always stuff going on, and it's hard to deal with that in an area like ours where people are willing to drive between, like, say, San Francisco and San Diego to do these big events. And, you know, people
Yeah.
will drive to Baycon, and people will drive to San Diego Comic-Con. There's just too much. And I think that the conventions are also playing a little bit of a waiting game, because from an insurance standpoint, so like they're saying they're postponed, when in reality they'll probably be canceled, but they need a certain leverage, I think, from the state and federal government to prove the closure for their insurance purposes.
WonderCon is at that point already.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, because it's next weekend.
Yeah.
And next weekend is is definitely, there's nothing they can do about it. It's an act of God at this point.
Right.
You know,
Force
excuse
majeure.
me, an act
Yeah.
of God. Yeah,
Yeah.
force majeure. So I don't think they're holding out for that unless they are negotiating that right now, and you know they can't say anything because they have to wait until the negotiations are over.
Right.
I think
Hmm.
there's a possibility that they may just be hoping to be able to postpone it. I kind of think that people just need to maybe put a pin in it and come back to it next year.
Right. Well,
If
which
they can.
and I posed this on the consolation page because I really wanted to know. I've been thinking about this a lot. So here we are. We're in a world where we're not supposed to be in close contact. You did the movie trailer thing, didn't you? Colin, I said in a world, and Colin's like, in a world. In a world where
dear.
people aren't allowed within 6 feet of each other.
We need him to be the official voice of the coronavirus.
I know, right? That would be amazing. So, and I knew the minute I said it, you were totally going to do that. So so we're in this frame where we don't go out, we don't do stuff, we stay at home. We're our guidelines are only super important things, which any of these gatherings aren't. Let's say that this all goes away by June. Okay, just mystical, magical thinking.
Slim chance.
Right, slim chance. But just for the purposes of our argument, this all goes away by June, and the curve is flattened. People are feeling better. They release some of the restrictions. San Diego Comic-Con, which is in the middle of July, so it'll be like a month and a half afterwards, is going to have 150,000 people. We don't have a cure for this. We don't have a medical treatment yet, really, that's sufficient. We don't have like a shot or a vaccine.
No.
I'm nervous about going to something like San Diego Comic-Con, where I'm usually on a panel, where you can't keep a distance between people, and you've got 150,000 people there from all over the world. And so, you know, I feel very much like San Diego is going to inevitably cancel, as much as I'm sure they don't want to. And Comic-Con International also does WonderCon. So when we were talking about WonderCon, that's their show too. I can see that they don't want to do it. and nobody wants to cancel an event, and everybody's certainly excited to go. But WonderCon and DragonCon and Star Wars Celebration and all of these very big events coming up,
Exactly.
I'm not sure that even if this, goes away and the cases dwindle, that having that reinstated is going to help that. I think it will make it worse. And so we've had a very lively discussion. Everybody's been super civil and giving their opinion. And some people are like, I bought tickets to DragonCon, I'm going, hell or high water, and unless it's completely canceled. And then other
Yeah.
people are like, you know what? This is the perfect year to take it easy and not go and sit at home and take care of my health and whatnot. So I know that it's a serious situation, but on the other hand, as a thought exercise, it's fascinating to me. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. In the same way that I think earthquakes are fun if nobody gets hurt. It's like, hey, the house shook a little bit. That's kind of cool.
No,
Colleen's like, no. Colleen hates earthquakes.
not fun.
But because of course I don't want anyone to get sick. But I worry about throwing a whole bunch of fans from all around the world into one giant 150,000 person melting pot.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh,
Fishbowl.
yeah,
Yep.
that's some soup I don't want to eat.
Ugh,
Yeah.
gross. Yeah, let's move on that note. Do we want to do a quiz?
If you have
Yeah.
a quiz,
So I have two things. One of them is a quiz about pizza. It's an old quiz that I dredged up from the archives.
Pizza.
Pizza. I don't know why we did a pizza quiz before, but I have a quiz on pizza. And the other one is list 5 celebrities. And it is 4 celebrities that you have met and 1 celebrity that you haven't really met. And then the listeners will try to guess which ones we haven't met. And Jeff
Yeah.
would be... Oh, Jeff did fill it out. Yay.
I did. Yeah.
So I have both of those things. Or we could go to more news bits.
oh, I like quizzes.
Do you want to do the
Yeah.
pizza quiz?
Sure.
Or
Although,
the list 5 celebrities.
gosh, I have not dusted this off in a long, long time. We haven't done a
What
quiz
is
in a
this?
very long
Oh, the
time.
quiz. Oh, you dusted off the music.
What did you do? Oh, man. I can't hear it, but I know it's probably Phoenix for.
It's playing.
Let's go with the quiz.
Oh yeah. That's from Phineas and Ferb. If you don't recognize
Okay.
that.
What animal was milked for early mozzarella cheese? Was it
Goats?
llamas, water buffaloes, or goats?
I like the llama idea.
I'm guessing for goats, but
It's water buffalo.
Water buffalo.
Damn it.
Oh wait, isn't there like a buffalo mozzarella though?
Yes,
Yeah.
there
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
Ah, crap.
Pizza places touted as Ray's are ubiquitous in New York City. What was the name?
RAY''S.
What? RAY''S. Yes.
Okay. Rays. Well, there were so many different directions to go with that.
What was the name of the original Ray's owner?
Jimmy.
Was it Ray? Was it Ralph? Or was it Horton L. O'Doherty?
Well,
I'll take the last one.
Horton
'cause I don't
L.
know.
O'Doherty is a little specific. So yeah, it's that.
It's Ralph.
It's Ralph.
While many Ray's pizza
was my second
joints
choice.
dot the New York streets, it was Ralph Cuomo who opened the famous original one. But don't confuse that for the famous original Ray's, which was actually the name of the second Ray's joint.
Oh, good grief.
Number 3.
You know, that happened to us in L.A. with Tommy's. Remember Tommy's Hamburgers?
Yeah.
Tommy's,
Tommy's.
Tommy's. It
Yeah.
was like, stop
Oh,
it.
good grief.
Choose a different name.
What pizza company is the most widely successful in the United States? Ray's,
It is not Ray's.
Domino's, or Pizza Hut?
Domino's.
Yeah, it's probably Domino's.
It's Pizza Hut.
Oh, I was going to say
What?
Pizza Hut. I should just go with my gut.
If time traveling
Failing
into
here.
the past, remember to buy up some shares of Pizza Hut stock. They're the biggest pizza company in the U.S., earning $12 billion in annual sales.
I'm thinking that they're first in delivery. Domino's.
Question 4. Who invented pizza? Was it Ray,
No,
the Greeks, or the Italians?
the Greeks.
Greeks
Jeff?
are the what?
The Greeks, the Italians, or Ray?
Ray. I'm going with Ray.
Sean says Greeks, and Sean has it right.
Yeah.
The Greeks invented pizza or the idea of flatbread with toppings.
I don't
There
know.
you
I think
go.
Ray time traveled. He probably went to Greece.
Right.
Yeah, because he would have fit in so well. Hey, what you doing over there with that flatbread?
Question 5. What pizza topping carries a poisonous legend? Is it the word pizza? Is it mozzarella? Or is it tomatoes?
Say what?
Tomatoes.
It is, in fact, tomatoes.
Uh,
Tomatoes only came to Italy from the Americas, and some say Italians finally started topping their flatbread pizza with it only after making good and sure the juicy fruit wouldn't kill them.
Hey, go get Saul. We're going to feed him a tomato and see what happens.
Question 6. What Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle told the pizza delivery man, "You put anchovies on this thing and you're in big trouble, okay?" Was it...
Michelangelo.
Dude, there's only one who totally likes pizza.
Really?
Yeah, it's Michelangelo.
I thought they
Yeah,
all liked
so-
No,
pizza.
they all eat pizza, but Mike's all
Oh,
about that.
and he does
Mike's
not
nuts
like
about it.
anchovies.
Yeah.
Cowabunga, etc.
Clock's
Yes.
ticking, dude.
7. What can a regular pizza tin do for you? What?
Well, I use them as
a
hubcaps.
pizza pan.
Okay,
What
what?
can a regular pizza pan do for you besides serve you piping hot pie? Can it save you fuel, make a decent shield in a battle, or provide a decent sled?
Probably all of the above, but I'm going to go with save you fuel.
So I am fairly certain that I stole this quiz from somewhere. I
Yeah.
don't think I made this up. And the answer is, in fact, save you fuel.
Yeah, it is. And I'll tell you why.
Why?
So I use pizza pans as hubcaps. And people always give me flack. They're like, how do your brakes breathe? And oh my God, you're going to melt your brake rotors and things like that. I don't. I haven't yet. But what people do who are called hypermilers, they make their car as aerodynamic as possible. And one of the ways to do it is to take your wheels and cover them in a smooth manner so that the air doesn't catch within the wheels. And so
And they do it with pizza pans?
they do it with pizza pans.
So you didn't come up with the idea on your own?
I did.
Oh.
And I didn't realize this until after I had done it. And someone's like, oh, you're hypermiling. And I'm like, I'm what now?
Yeah.
And I went and I looked it up. And there's this whole subculture that does that.
It says securing pizza pie tins to your
I like
car's
sledding.
wheels will help counteract the drag that comes with most wheel designs.
Yes.
And it says you can have a half point if you chose the shield in battle or the sled,
I
because
think
those
they would
might
still
work.
work as a sled for a little kid.
I think it
Yeah.
would too. And in my case, on my first car, I got what they call moon wheels, which are essentially fancy pizza pans, because that's what the drag racers at the Salt Flats were doing, and it made the car look more like it was hovering when it was driving because you didn't see the rotation of the wheel as much. But going back to like the 1950s and maybe even earlier, when guys were taking old fuel tanks, drop tanks from airplanes and making them into racers, they would cover their wheels with these spun aluminum covers. And same exact thing. And then for all intents and purposes, they're pizza pans. And they were designed for guys breaking speed records
Wow.
on Salt Flats.
Question 8. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia ruled that this shouldn't be called pizza in 2014. Is it pizza without tomato sauce, gluten-free pizza, or Chicago-style deep dish?
Wow. This is really tough. And I feel like he's probably going with Chicago deep dish.
I love the Chicago style pizza answer.
But
Yeah.
but what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
That is correct.
Yeah,
Chicago style deep dish.
and it is totally pizza. Thank you very much. Antonin Scalia
So
can
funny.
suck it.
Question
So
9. Whose name was given to a standard tomato, basil, and mozzarella pizza? Was it the first pope, the pie maker's mother, or the former princess of Italy?
Wow,
Oh.
I don't know. The mother seems the most likely thing. Although there was the whole Father Guido Sarducci routine where he had to find the Pope into the pizza, and you could find them and win the contest, which was pretty good.
Jeff, what do you think?
I was going with the Pope, so I don't know.
Going for the Pope? The
Is
Pope.
that
sure,
what
why
you're
not?
doing, the Pope?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
A margarita pizza is named for an Italian royal princess who really loved
Of
it.
course. Yeah. That makes
Number 10. What decade did pizza really take off in the United States? The 20s, the
decade?
50s? Yeah. The
okay.
1920s, the 1950s, or the 1980s?
I feel the 50s.
Oh. I would say 80s, but I would actually be going back further to the 70s, but I'll go 80s.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a
It
big
was the
deal in the
1950s.
70s, too.
Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't you think it would have to be earlier than the 80s? Because I remember
You
pizza
would
being a
think.
big deal in the 70s. So
Well, and he said that he would go earlier. He would actually go
Yeah,
1970s. Yeah.
That's why I said.
That's not a choice.
I know it's not a choice.
Okay, it was the 1950s.
Yeah.
After World War II, U.S. soldiers came home from Italy craving the stuff, and a market was born.
And it was cheap to make. It was easy to put out. It's like the burger joint craze.
Yeah.
that
I've only
popped up
gotten
too.
like one of these things right.
All right, I have 6 more questions. We can keep going, or we can cut it
No,
off at
no,
10.
no pizza for you, Jeff. I don't know. We can keep going.
Yeah.
All right. Question 11. When making pizza, what does proofing refer to? Finding the correct answer in the pizza to baking time equation, allowing the dough to rise, or tasting an edge of the crust to ensure it's properly crisp.
B.
Allowing the dough to rise.
It's rising the dough.
It is rising the dough. Question 12. We already learned the Greeks invented the pizza precursor. What other popular pizza tradition did a Greek person bring us? Was it Hawaiian pizza, thin crust pizza, or deep dish pizza?
I'm guessing thin.
I feel thin crust. Yeah.
You are both wrong. It is Hawaiian.
What?
A Canadian Greek pie maker in the 1960s brought the ham pineapple pizza to life.
I both love him and hate him.
Why do you hate him? Because you're on both sides of the thing?
Because I love Hawaiian pizza, but I got the answer wrong. So
Question 13. What pizza idea was so good that someone patented it in 1987? White sauce pizza, stuffed crust pizza, or hamburger pizza?
stuffed crust pizza.
Yeah, stuffed. Gotta be.
You both got it right. It didn't take off until the mid-90s, but it was patented in the 1980s.
Bullwinkle's had a really good one, too.
Number
Again.
14. What famous pizza name is responsible for the popularity of frozen pizza? Was it Totino, DiGiorno, or Red Baron?
I don't know. We mostly eat Red Baron.
I mean, Totino's is probably the most popular name, but
DiGiorno's I think is the most popular one.
But from the time period she was just referring, I hope I'm going with
The one who's
Tony.
responsible for the popularity, meaning first made
The
it popular.
first one. Yeah. I don't know.
Totino's.
Jeff is going Totino. Sean?
I'll go Red Baron. What the hell?
It is Totino.
Yeah.
Good job, Jeff.
Woohoo!
Rose Totino
That's
began
3.
producing frozen pizzas in 1962, and it was the first successful attempt. Number 15. What is the most popular pizza topping in America? Is it pepperoni, sausage, or cheese? Cheese is a weird thing to say.
Because
I'm gonna
all
say extra cheese.
Extra cheese.
We'll call that extra cheese.
Yeah.
Then I would say pepperoni.
I'm going with, pepperoni, sure.
Pepperoni. It is on 36% of all pies in the U.S.
As it should be.
16, the final question. Sure, pepperoni is popular in the United States, but what can you get in a Japanese Pizza Hut? Pufferfish pizza, tuna pizza, or gummy candy pizza?
Probably tuna, but I like the idea of the pufferfish pizza.
Gummy.
So, Sean, what are you choosing?
Oh, I went tuna. Jeff went gummy.
Okay, it is tuna.
Is tuna. Okay.
Yeah.
You have sushi pizza. Welcome.
Yes.
Like, no. We,
Fugu.
I used to work around table pizza, and we used to put shrimp on our pizza by request. And can I tell you, as a pizza topping, A, crappy pizza topping, and B, as someone who works in a pizza restaurant, it makes your entire restaurant smell like shrimp.
Yeah.
It just sucked. It was some weird tradition that maybe the founder liked or something. Whatever it was, for some reason we had shrimp.
What sucked? Oh, shrimp. No.
God knows why. I don't even know. It was
Wow.
just awful. It's like anchovies are one thing. Shrimp, just no. People
I don't
go
really-
like, don't put pineapple on pizza. No, don't put shrimp on pizza. It's
Well,
wrong.
I never understood any kind of seafood at all in pizza because cheese doesn't really go well with seafood.
Anchovies kind of make sense because they're little salty topping-y things. They're not
Yeah.
like
I
big
could-
slabs of fish.
I think people have done recipes with cheese and, or at least cream sauces with shrimp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm allergic to shrimp, so I will not be partaking. Of
No,
any shrimp
no.
pizza.
It was just awful. Our whole restaurant smelled like shrimp, and of course
boy.
we shrimp have a limited shelf life. All of our toppings were in like a freeze tray,
Okay.
like ice inside and set inside
Gotcha.
and things like that. But after a while, the shrimp just smell yucky, and that's all you smell in the kitchen.
God.
That's it.
So gross.
It was nasty.
Smelled like a pier.
Oh, God, it was awful. I have so many hang-ups from working at that pizza restaurant. I don't like pasta salad anymore. It's just disgusting. Because I used to have to like dish that stuff out of a big gigantic carton, which is like
That's
really
why you don't like
terrible.
pasta
That's
salad.
why I don't like pasta salad.
Wow.
There's a whole bunch of things that like I don't like because of that kind of thing. I had to deal with the soups there. That's part of my soup hang-up. Ugh. Just no.
Bar.
All right. Well, a lot of
But
the
I still love
listeners
pizza.
got some of those questions correct. I couldn't keep track
Sweet.
of who was answering what.
I think I got like 3.
Yeah, me too, I think. And I used to
Yeah.
work in pizza, and I think I got 3.
Should we go ahead with the 5 celebrities thing and have the listeners guess?
Sure.
All right. Who wants to be in charge of keeping an eye on Facebook, and who wants to be in charge of keeping an eye on,
YouTube?
oh my God, YouTube?
Yeah.
Can people even answer on YouTube? I
Yeah.
was thinking Twitch.
Oh, well, I have Twitch and YouTube both open.
Yeah.
Well, I can
Think
do
over the
Facebook or
other
I
one.
can do Twitch.
Oh, no,
Can't
I'm
do
sorry. I have YouTube and Facebook open. No, I have Twitch and Facebook open. Ah!
Something.
Which one of those do you want to monitor, Twitch or Facebook?
I will watch Twitch. It's right here.
Okay, so I will
Okay.
watch Facebook.
Alrighty.
What we're going to do is we're going to list 5 celebrities that
Yeah.
we have met, but we have actually only met 4 of the celebrities, and you guys have to guess which one we have not met.
Yeah.
That's going on all around Facebook.
Right.
Sean, you want to start?
Sure. Do you have our things in the document?
It's in the document.
here?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have met a bunch of celebrities, and you have to figure out which one I have not. So, have I not met Harrison Ford, Katharine Hepburn, Alec Guinness, Dick Cheney, or Debbie Reynolds? Which one of these people have I not actually met?
Hmm.
And I'll
Nobody
do it.
on Facebook. Oh, wait. Somebody on Facebook.
I'll do it again.
Nope.
Harrison Ford, Katharine Hepburn, Alec Guinness, Dick Cheney, Debbie Reynolds. 4 of those people I have actually met.
Yes.
One of them I am lying through my teeth. See?
So we have an answer over on Twitch. Nothing on Facebook yet.
Purple Lady 1969 is wrong.
No, exactly.
And Jeff, you can't answer.
Right. Jeff knows. Jeff knows the answer to this.
And
We are not
so-
allowed to answer ourselves.
Melody Vito, you are wrong. Now they're going too fast. Mitchell Douglas, you are wrong.
Yeah.
Kim Hallinger, you are wrong. And Phil Keller has the right answer.
Phil gets it.
Yeah.
Phil gets it. Sir Alec Guinness, I was not fortunate enough to have met in my lifetime.
Not at all, man.
A sadness I will always regret. But I have, in fact, met all of the other ones.
Yes.
Harrison Ford, I've done several events with. Katharine Hepburn, I got an acting class from in junior high, believe it or not. Dick Cheney sat in my car. I got stuck in his motorcade, and he came over to check out the Star Wars car with his Secret Service. And Debbie Reynolds I met through charity before I even met her daughter, Carrie Fisher. So there you go.
All right, I'll go next.
Okay.
There are 5 people that I'm going to list. I have met 4 of them, and I haven't met the 5th one. Which one of these people have I not met? Samuel L. Jackson, Charo, Andy Serkis, Richard Thomas, or Neil Patrick Harris.
I love the way you spelled Andy Serkis, by the way.
I know, it's totally wrong.
She spelled it circus like big top, not like his name is spelled at all.
So I'm going to repeat those. Samuel L. Jackson, Charo, Andy Serkis, Richard Thomas, and Neil Patrick Harris. Fairly certain I spelled Charo wrong, too.
A Charo may have 2 R's.
I first spelled it with 2 R's, and then I spelled it with 1 R. And I was like, I can't remember how that was spelled.
Well, Charo is a traditional horseman from Mexico, originating in the central regions. But I believe that her name is you spelled it right. She's got 1 R in her name.
It's not Gucci Gucci.
It is
Wildcard
not
9
Coochie Coochie.
Wildcard 9 got it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I have, in fact. Mitchell Douglas got it wrong. I have met that person. Should I be saying who the people are who they're guessing?
Well, it's in the chat. It's process of elimination.
Melody
I guess.
Vito. Charo is a singer from who was popular in the 1970s.
Yes.
And she sang a lot of Hispanic.
And she was like on
music.
the Love Boat and Fantasy Island, and she was very sort of like culturally representative. She was like very Spanish with a broken accent, and she was the hot chick. She like super tight dresses, and she would come out and do the coochie coochie thing, and she was crazy. And she was a terrible stereotype, and she was just a blast.
Liz the Red got it correct. Richard Thomas, I have never met John Boy, much to my chagrin. I'm very sad.
Such a Waltons fan you are, too.
So, really quickly to recap those, Samuel L. Jackson and Neil Patrick Harris I met the same day at my office. Andy Serkis I also met through work. We worked with him for about a week. Charo I met when my dad used to work for Merv Griffin. She came up to me and said that I was a very pretty girl and that she liked my dad. And that's it. Richard Thomas, I am sad to say I've never met.
Right. Oh, the lead actor in
the Waltons.
In the Waltons, and also what was the space movie he did, Jeff?
Stars. Battle Beyond the Stars.
Battle Beyond the Stars. That was
He was also in It.
He
like
was
the one that came out in like the 90s.
He was in
or
It.
something?
Yeah.
That
The,
was
the one
the
with
original
Tim
one,
Curry. Yeah. That's
All
pretty
right,
cool.
Jeff, you're up.
Oh, my turn. Oh dear.
Oh wait, I should look at your list and see if I know what the answer is because I can't really monitor it. if I
Yeah,
don't-
Sean knows the answer, I'm sure. But
Yeah, I do.
so the first, I guess I'll just list them off. The 5 here are Peter Mayhew, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Stephen Stanton, and Carrie Fisher.
And if you don't know,
So-
Stephen Stanton is a voiceover actor. He did Grand Moff Tarkin. and he did Obi-Wan Kenobi in Rebels.
Yeah, Clone Wars and Rebels, and just about anything Disney did. He did, I think.
He works a lot.
He
works a lot, and we want
Resistance cartoon.
We want his job.
Yeah. So Peter Mayhew, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Stephen Stanton, and Carrie Fisher.
Do we have any guesses?
Let's see. Not seeing any
0 guesses.
any guesses yet. Yours is a tough one, Jeff.
Yeah, I have no idea. Well, I mean, I have some idea because I know for sure that you've like certain of those. I was there.
I believe I have been there for all of these meetings.
Wild Card 9. No, I have met Peter Mayhew. Liz, yes, I have met Carrie Fisher.
Phil also says Carrie Fisher. Mitchell says Stephen Stanton.
I've met Stephen Stanton numerous times.
Yeah, he does conventions with us out here.
Yeah, and
Bo-
Peter all over the place, and Carrie Fisher at Celebration.
Right, Boba Kit guessed, but
that's cheating.
That's kind of cheating.
She knows.
Right? Well, and yeah, I think she was. Here for many of these meetings too.
It's down between Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford.
Between who and who?
Mark
Hamill and Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Because you said out loud already the ones you didn't meet of those.
Boy, no one else is guessing.
Carrie Stephen Stanton. I know. Well, it's tough. Yours is particularly tough.
Yeah. Oh no, wait. Wait. We said
right.
that Boba Kit couldn't. I agree with her though. That's who I think, although I'm not positive.
Oh.
Yeah.
So a lot of these meetings I think happened when we were at Celebration, and a lot of these meetings were engendered. This is a celebrity not on the list, but he kind of made a lot of these meetings happen. Christian Slater.
Yeah, exactly.
Melody Vito guesses Harrison Ford, and Phil
Keller
forgot guesses Mark. Jeff?
Huh?
Melody guesses Harrison Ford, and Phil guesses Mark Hamill. So which is it?
So, Mark Hamill I met at Celebration.
I knew it.
At the exact thing that Sean was just talking about, where we were wandering around with Christian Slater, who I should have put down on the list.
I know, right?
I totally forgot.
The one that you actually hung out. Well, that's a friend, though.
Yeah, we wandered around with him and like watched the droid races and everything.
We did.
Dang it. And then, but no, the one, of course, is it's a theme here because like Sean never got to meet Alec Guinness, who we want,
who was the guy I dress up as. Yeah.
And Colleen loves the Waltons, and so guess who she never got to meet from the Waltons is a dang star. And so, I'm like, I do, Han Solo and even Indy, costumes all the time and such. So I never met Harrison.
Never met Harrison Ford.
Even got confused by that guy at the theater, thinking I was Harrison.
We were walking out of the premiere. And the guy was so excited to meet Jeff because he thought he was Harrison Ford. He's like, "I love your work," and he's like, "It's not me." And he's like, "Oh, I know." Wink, wink. And it was like, so that guy is running around telling people that he met Harrison Ford at the premiere.
Held the door open for him. Oh my god!
Yeah, totally. Oh my god.
He's wearing the jacket from the movie too.
I have people like that who are running around telling people they met Richard Dreyfuss because I just could not convince them otherwise. So funny. Yeah, it's weird that the people that we would most like to have met, we haven't.
Yeah.
And I would trade my meeting with Harrison Ford to Jeff. I think he would have appreciated that.
Yeah. And then but then again, you've met him, and then of course Colleen's met someone I've always wanted to meet, but he passed away. Was Jimmy Stewart.
We weren't formally introduced.
Yeah.
I sat next to him. I had breakfast with him.
Yeah.
I sat next to him at the counter at Denny's, secretly freaking out that I was sitting next to Jimmy Stewart. So I said nothing the whole meal and just like gave him side eye the whole time.
Did he order the soup?
No, it was breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
he
no.
ordered like the senior
Well,
Grand Slam
well, there were no. There's no Campbell's at breakfast.
coffee. He actually spent most of the meal complaining about how extras were jerks and asked for too much money.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I tell you, dear God, there's some hot pictures of Charo on the internet.
Melody says, I feel you never got to meet Leonard Nimoy.
Who?
Melody's saying it to all of us, I
To
guess?
all of us.
Yes, but I believe Sean has actually met him.
I have. I have worked with Leonard Nimoy, and I have met him. The last time I saw him was in connection with the Griffith Observatory. We opened the Leonard Nimoy Event Horizon Theater, named for him, inside Griffith Observatory. It was a new 200-seat space down below the main observatory, and he was just amazing and charming. His wife, Susan, was tremendous. And one thing that I was not privy to, but also happened at the Griffith Observatory, he met Zachary Quinto up there. And that's where they had the discussion about Spock, where Zach's like, okay, I'm going to play Spock. And you know, teach me. And so they went to the little Wolfgang Puck's Express there and sat down and talked about doing it. Yeah,
That's neat.
Nimoy, he was a super nice guy and had a great sense of humor. And especially so when we went to the Leonard Nimoy Event Horizon Theater, some wag who was not me, I did not think to do this, but we were talking about April Fool's jokes. They had put a banner up, a printed banner across the lettering. They were going to do an unveiling of the lettering. It said Leonard Nimoy Event Horizon Theater. It's a big metal letters over the entrance. And somebody had put a paper over to cover it. But what they had did, instead of just putting paper, they printed on it. And so it said the William Shatner Event Horizon Theater.
No.
and he walked in and he looked up and he started laughing. He said, take it down. Yeah, he was a good guy.
That's terrible.
He's really funny.
That's why.
Okie
Oh my
dokie. Let's do a bit of speed round here.
Oh, okay.
Sean, you want to start it off?
Let me fire up the document here and see what we got.
There it goes.
Pretty light in terms of speed round stuff. I'll steal Jeff's, and I'll go with Ghostbusters being delayed. It's going to be pushed back until 2021, March. It looks like. It's not the only one. The Morbius film is also going to be pushed back. Uncharted is going to be pushed back, and I'm sorry to say, Peter Rabbit 2 has been moved from August 7th to January 15th. Uncharted was going to be March 5th of 2021. It's now in October of that year. And Ghostbusters, which was supposed to be July 31st of this year, is now March of next year.
Oh, March is a weird month to release
It's
it.
a strange thing.
I wonder if it's going to get pushed again and end up in May of next year.
I would think, because it's supposed to be a summer movie,
Yeah.
really. They really
needs to come
just
out
need to
Memorial Day
release it.
weekend.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
And then the Morbius film, which is Jared Leto doing that, that's going from the same weekend, the July 31st of this year. That is going to March of next year also. So it's nuts.
Jeff?
Okay. So the Black Widow film, which we're not really sure where they're going to put it, it may very well start up on Disney Plus for all we know. Because I don't know if they want to stall it or if they're going to do whatever, but it's not really finished yet anyway.
Right.
So the original composer for the film was Alexander Desplat, and he is actually getting replaced with by Lorne Balfe. So Lorne has already done stuff like I've lost it. Gosh darn it. Okay. Like Mission Impossible and Bad Boys for Life and such. He's done quite a few films. But strangely, Alexander Desplat was also the original person doing Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and then he left that as well.
Right,
You
so
know,
this is kind of like
so
his second strike, really.
yeah, weird,
I
huh?
wonder what's going on with him,
Yeah,
because it's really kind of strange.
yeah, and I can't seem to find anything like giving a reason for why. It's
Hmm.
just like, well, he's gone, he's
Right.
getting switched, and like, oh, okay,
I wanted
so
to talk
that's
about
yeah,
the fact that a lot of late night shows have moved into the host's home.
yeah,
Um,
I've seen a couple. They're very
and
interesting.
and so that's not my actual news.
Hmm.
My actual news is that John Krasinski is starting up his own news network calling show, not network, called Some Good News.
yeah,
And he's doing it from his home, and
SGN.
it's called SGN, and he had his kids make the sign for SGN, and like one of his kids plays music or something, and he just reads good news. We
yep,
need good news right now.
That's good.
So,
Yeah.
but
yeah. It was
also
a
I
really
watched
good video.
sorry, Jeff, go ahead.
It was a really good video. I watched it.
I
Yes,
I really
it was
enjoyed it, and
really good.
but it also it's I sort of springboarded from there onto some of the late night shows where they're doing them out of their homes, and I found that John Oliver has just got a white wall behind him,
Hmm.
and he said that's
Yeah,
because his house really is that boring. And the Late Show, who does the Late Show?
James Corbin.
yeah,
There's
Well,
Corbin.
then
James
not
Corden.
him,
There's Jimmy Kimmel.
not Jimmy Kimmel.
There's Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. So Jimmy Fallon has something that he's sitting in that looks like the Peanuts psychiatry booth that his kids made.
Oh, okay.
So when
Oh,
he
okay.
does his show,
Nice.
That's new because when I first saw him do it, it wasn't. He didn't even have that. He just had like his living room in the background.
yeah,
But his kids also have they do the infographics when
Yeah.
it's like we're going to show you this now, and it's like a colored picture from his kid, and his wife does the camera work apparently,
that's great.
which is very funny. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So
Um,
keep watching those things.
I'm going to bring something up that I brought up at the beginning of the show that is not exactly my news thing, but it's listed on our news thing, which is Culture Slate posted a thing that said original cuts of Star Wars trilogy coming to Disney Plus. And I mentioned that this happens every couple years and has for since the beginning of the internet. At the bottom of their thing, as I have been telling people for the past 2 days, it is an April Fool's prank. And they say, yes, it's an April Fool's prank. And they started a petition to do it. And it will be one of about 300 petitions trying to get Disney to release these stupid things. But just wanted to let you guys know, since we talked about it at the top of the show, yes, they've confirmed that they lied. So the one thing I did want to talk about was Ryan Reynolds has apparently designs to star in the upcoming live-action movie of the 1980s Laserdisc-based game Dragon's Lair. If you weren't around in the 1980s or didn't play arcade games, then Dragon's Lair was unusual in that it was a hand-animated game that was stored on a Laserdisc, and they would play these cutscenes. And the gameplay was super simple. You had to do movements in a certain pattern in a certain direction to make it through the level. And so you had to dodge like rolling balls or, dragons attacking you or whatever, and orcs and things, and do the right pattern. And if you didn't, you died. And you would land in the frame, and your skin would melt off, and it was always kind of
hate
cool.
it when that happens.
It's terrible, but Dragon's Lair got its own cartoon series for a while on Saturday morning, which was pretty popular. And the game itself, I worked in an arcade where we had this game. It's just always busy, always busy. Everybody really liked it. There was Space Ace, which was a science fiction version of it, and all the animation I think was done by Don Bluth.
Yep.
Who did like An American Tail and All Dogs Go to Heaven. And so the animation was super quality, and it looked different from any other video game, which were all blocky and 8-bit. This looked like a cartoon that you could play. And so I'm wondering about a live-action version of this. I almost kind of would rather see a cool animated version of it. But
Yeah.
we'll have to see. But Ryan Reynolds is obviously a great choice for that, and we'll have to see how it comes out. I don't know who they're going to get for Princess Daphne, but in true Don Bluth fashion, she was what we will call an overly healthy heroine.
Yeah.
So I don't know who they're going to get to fit that mold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeff?
I guess what I've got now is on Netflix. They canceled 2 shows and kind of saw it coming. Is October Faction and V Wars. They were both canceled, and I never actually watched V Wars because it just didn't look interesting at all to me whatsoever. Because I thought, gosh, that's been done. And October Faction was good, I think, when you got to like the last episode, and that's not a good way to run a series. So I can see why they got canned.
Here's me all unprepared.
Well, that's okay.
I wanted to talk about something that's not really on here, and that's that Marvel is putting a whole bunch of its comic books online for free for the month of April, so that people who are stuck in quarantine have something to keep them busy. They are going to make Avengers vs. X-Men, Civil War, Amazon Spider-Man Red Goblin, Black Panther, Thanos Wins, X-Men Milestones, Avengers Kree Skull War, Avengers The Final Host, Fantastic Four Forever, Black Widow, Captain America, and Captain Marvel will all be free. You just need to download the Marvel Unlimited app for iOS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But Android people get hosed.
I'm sorry, or Android.
Download
the Marvel Unlimited app for iOS or Android.
Okay, that's important.
Click free comics on the landing page. No subscription or trial service will be necessary.
Neat.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah. Sean?
Yeah. So this was something that we all knew needed to happen. We all knew that it was inevitably coming, and I'm glad that it finally surfaced as of April 1st. And this was an April Fool's thing I could get behind. Samuel L. Jackson reads us another story. He had a book a while back called "Go the F to Sleep," and now he's got a book that's called "Stay the F at Home," and it is exactly as charming as you would hope it would be. Despite the vulgar language, and it's something that you need to see, and so it was very cool, and of course it pays homage to the previous story, which is great. And if you have a minute and a half to spare, you should go and give it a watch.
Yeah.
Jeff?
Oh my gosh. Actually, I don't think I'm to be honest, I'm looking at our news and I'm not really all that keen on really much of anything.
It's kind of
that's
light
sitting here,
this time, right?
All right, so
it's like,
Onward is going to be on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah,
this week, tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody's going to want to ditch all their other plans and watch Onward tomorrow.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right after work. Bing.
Me too.
Purple Lady 1969, which I think is Laura, reminds us that Jim Butcher is releasing 2 Harry Dresden books this year.
Wow.
So that'll be pretty good. If you go over to KryptonRadio.com, we have his book trailer for one of those books up there and an article about more of his stuff. But if you remember the television series, The Dresden Files, or if you have read his books, his stuff is really worth your time. It's fun. It's about a modern magician in present day.
A magical magician, not a sleight of hand magician.
Not a sleight of hand magician, and how he deals with magic in the real world. And it's a pretty cool pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Although it's
Kind of
somebody pointed
noirish.
this out that it's kind of funny that the first book that's coming out is called Peace Talks, and the next one is called Battleground. So I'm thinking that Peace Talks didn't go well.
Right,
If
yeah,
the next
exactly.
one is
I'm
Battleground.
Like, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's pretty cool stuff. And then just as a quickie, one of the last things on our news that's kind of interesting is the National Theater is going to stream a free play every Thursday night. And so they're doing Jane Eyre and Treasure Island and Twelfth Night. And
I think tonight they were doing Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor.
they did
Dreamcoat.
not. They did
Oh.
One Man, Two Governors with James Corden.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of a cool thing. Although I am hoping that these will also be streaming, and then they're also hoping that they will bring some of the ones that they've done that have been really amazing. Like they did a version of Hamlet, and they did Frankenstein, which had Benedict Cumberbatch and Johnny Lee Miller, and they did it twice, where they each switched characters, like a
Are
two-man
they going to
play.
show that?
They're hoping.
Oh,
They're
my
hoping
gosh,
that
that would be
this leads
great.
to that. And then
Yeah.
there was Coriolanus, which had Tom Hiddleston in it. And
nice.
that would be great too. So the stuff they're showing is kind of the low tier
Yeah.
stuff. But maybe if they get enough people watching, they'll do it. So
Right.
that'll be cool. But they conflict with us. So
Nice.
Okay, so upcoming events, and even though Facebook freaks out whenever you click the create an event button,
I know they're like, don't go out.
yeah, they seriously you
Stop
have to click through
gathering.
a whole bunch of error messages,
Right.
and you're like, I'm trying to do an online event. Would you calm your jets?
Yeah, it
Wow.
really should have a thing going, is this a real event or a virtual event? And if you
Right.
click real event, then you can freak out.
So,
Jeez.
virtual events that are coming up, all three of us, plus listener Becky, are going to be doing a pub quiz on Saturday night. We
We
a
are not running it. We are
team.
participating as a team.
Yes, we have formed a team,
Yeah.
and we're going to see what we can do.
I'm going to make Colleen type because she types fastest.
Right. And I'm the one who signed us up, actually.
I know.
It was kind of funny. And then Sean is going to do a toy unboxing.
I did.
weekend.
So I did a little test as an unboxing this weekend for this little cool expandable stool thing and the DJ Rex thing. I have a Star Wars toy from Galaxy's Edge that I'm going to do. That's part of the Rise of the Resistance thing, and so we'll see how that is and if it's good, and we'll just for fun kill some time, whatever.
Which day are you going to do it?
Gotcha.
I don't know. I did the last one on Sunday, didn't I?
Yeah. You want to do it on Sunday?
Probably do
again?
it on Sunday.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it's
Sunday.
Sunday afternoon, probably around 2:30.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Jeff, do you have any virtual events coming up?
Do I have any what?
Virtual events.
Are you doing anything online other than the pub quiz?
No, I'm just doing the pub quiz. I do need I have to do all the other stuff I'm way behind on, but
Right.
So I'm doing my virtual events are many. I have a birthday party tomorrow at noon. I was supposed to be going to. I wouldn't have been on the show this week had the coronavirus not come, because I would have been flying to Arizona to visit my mom for her birthday.
Like right now.
Yeah. And then on Saturday morning, Customers Guild West has a jewelry lecture that I'm going to attend. And then I think Sunday night, but I'm not positive which day yet, we are going to be screening Austin Land for CGW. And then probably on Tuesday night, I'm going to be doing a sewing circle. So busy, busy, busy.
damn.
You want to wrap us up, Sean?
I do. Boba Kit had posted her list, which we didn't talk about, for the people that she did or didn't meet.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, I didn't see it either till she posted the answer to it. Her list was Mark Hamill, Bruce Boxleitner, Robin Williams, Ray Park, and Jorge Garcia.
Where did she post it?
It's up in the Twitter feed.
Oh.
In the Twitch feed.
Who? Can you say it again?
So, yeah, it was Mark Hamill, Bruce Boxleitner, Robin Williams, Ray Park, and Jorge Garcia. And while you guys think about that, let's take the opportunity to sign off here over on Krypton Radio, and we'll kind of do it as a little after time thing. You are listening to Docking Bay 94. We appreciate you being here and listening on Krypton Radio. That is always awesome. And we will do this again next week in some capacity. You can hear more of me tomorrow at 9 a.m. on Good Morning Tatooine. We do that Monday through Friday here, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And we, as always, whether you're doing Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or now all of these ways that you can check us out, we really appreciate that you do it.
I'm Colleen Kayla Crosby.
This is Jeff Solodano.
And I am Sean Obi Sean Crosby. As always, may the
force
force be with you. Dun, 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 dun. Alrighty. So that should be it for Krypton Radio. Although
I thought Krypton was going into overtime.
I have permission to leave it run. But
Okay.
that was for, they're going to cut us off and do the replay
Right.
at like 2 a.m. or something crazy. And so that was for that. So we can keep going. So back to Kit's list.
I unfortunately looked at the answer.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't
so
need to.
so Mark Hamill, Bruce Boxleitner, Robin Williams, Ray Park, Jorge Garcia.
Yeah.
And if you don't remember Jorge Garcia, he was from Lost. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff, what do you think?
Oh, I know the answer.
Oh,
Oh,
So
look at the answer too. Okay.
we all know the answer. Uh-oh. Is
Dun-dun-dun.
anybody else guessing? Let's look over on Facebook. And we do not have any guesses on Facebook. Do we have any guesses on...
Nope,
On
we don't.
Twitch, we can't because she said
'Cause-
the answer. So,
Because Purple Lady got
yeah.
it.
So let's announce that she is the winner.
Yes, totally. And Laura got it with Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which again is one of those. I did meet Robin Williams.
Everybody gets to meet Bruce Boxleitner but me.
Yeah, I know. You've just been in the wrong place at the
He's
wrong
so
time.
hot.
Hey, yeah, I told him you thought he was hot.
I know.
He was appreciative.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I did a football movie with Robin Williams
Football. Not
and
that one.
and Kurt Russell. I think Kurt Russell was in it too.
Audrey wants to know who's streaming the plays.
It is the National Theater, and looking at our news article here, let's see where they are going to be streamed.
Oh, here, I can put the link over there, Audrey.
That would be good. So it'll be the National Theater at home, and they don't have like a direct link to it. You got to kind of go. If you go to nationaltheater.org.uk, that has links to where to find what they are showing, which is cool. They don't have full cast lists of things. James Corden is in One Man, Two Governors, which is available to the 9th of April. So you guys can watch these after the fact. You don't have to watch them live. Jane Eyre doesn't have a cast list. Treasure Island is going to feature Arthur Darvill as Long John Silver,
Nice.
which is
That's the one they wanted to see because they're reading Treasure Island right now.
oh, cool. All right. And then Twelfth Night has Tamsin Greig as Malvolia. So yeah, so that's
Interesting.
good so far, and that's going to take place. So the One Man, Two Governors is tonight, and then next Thursday is Jane Eyre. Thursday after that is Treasure Island, and then Twelfth Night, and they're going to stay up for a week afterwards.
And
So.
Laura wants to know what you did in the best of times.
Oh, I was a overpaid extra.
Why were you overpaid?
It was-
Extras are usually underpaid.
It was about a high school football game that the characters get to experience. And so we were all down there, and like I was the runty little kid sitting on the bench being, whatever. But Robin Williams came out, and he would entertain the crowd of people in the audience when in between takes, which was super fun. Yeah, it was super super cool. And gosh, that was a long time ago, and it was a cold night. I think we shot it in Moore Park.
I only saw Robin Williams in person once, and that was when he was jaywalking in San Diego, and he started screaming as he ran across the street.
Sounds very much like Robin Williams. That's really, really funny. Yeah, I feel like they shot that in at Moore Park, and at one of the football fields there, which was kind of cool. But yeah, it was an interesting few nights. But yeah, it's neat. It's really weird, like people's celebrity lists and like who they run into. And honestly, I feel I met Katharine Hepburn in junior high when we went to see her play, and I feel like I probably have met celebrities before that, but honestly, she's just like eclipsed anybody that I can think of that I met before then.
I was in junior high when I met Charo. I'm
Cool.
trying to think. I know I've met people before that.
Yeah.
But there were people who I didn't think of as celebrities.
Right. Well, and you met people through
So-
your dad who worked on the Merv
Yeah.
Griffin show.
So
That's-
like I met
Jack Sheldon?
Jack Sheldon, but I didn't know who he was. He was just a guy that worked with my
Right.
dad.
You didn't have a frame of reference.
Yeah.
And you met like Muhammad Ali, but you're like,
Muhammad Ali, that's who I was going to put.
Yeah.
I was going to put Muhammad Ali. Yeah, I did meet Muhammad Ali, but that was because so Muhammad Ali was going to be on the Merv Griffin show, and my brother wanted to get his picture with him. So my brother was going to get to go spend the day with my dad at the office so that he could meet Muhammad Ali. And I was like, I want to meet Muhammad Ali, but I actually just wanted to spend the day with my dad
in
at
the office. Yeah.
So then my mom decided she would take us home right away, so we didn't bug my dad.
Ah.
It was a lose-lose situation. I mean, I did get to meet him,
Right. But
I really didn't care.
you didn't get to do the,
I was
you
only
know,
pretending to care because I wanted to go to the office with my dad.
take your weird kids to work day.
Yeah.
Well, and you also got hosed for Paul Williams Day.
Paul Williams, I was supposed to go to his concert when I was maybe 10.
Yeah.
And it was the only concert that Paul Williams ever canceled because he was sick.
And he told you that in person.
He did. When I finally met him, like 40 years later.
I'll tell you, as a husband, I don't always do everything right. I had one good day, and
did
that was it.
this really right. He called me at work, and he's like, would you want to go to this concert that's happening in 4 days? And I'm like, there's no way we could get tickets for this.
Where we happened to be, because it was in Arizona,
It was in Scottsdale, Arizona.
and we were like going to be there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of planning beforehand before I even asked her if she wanted to go. I was pretty sure the answer would be yes.
Yeah, it was, oh my God, yes.
But I knew that she'd been hosed from this meeting, and you had always wanted to meet him.
He was my secret boyfriend
Yeah.
growing up.
So
He was my first crush.
he was cute. He was a cute kid, and approachable. You know,
He was not
he,
intimidating.
he was, yeah. So
Right. Yes.
he was a little short
And
guy.
oh my gosh, can that man hug? Wow.
Yeah, see, and that's where I screwed myself. Right there was the hug. Yeah. No, he was super, super nice, and he was kind enough to at least remember me from Twitter, which was really great.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was a neat guy.
That was really fun. I'm trying to think of somebody
It's a good
else
date.
that I danced with William Shatner
You did
in the
in the AFI Film Awards.
yeah.
Yeah.
So-
There's a lot of stuff, and that's the fun thing about all the
Oh,
charity stuff we do is we all get to meet everybody, and that's
Who's
really
the
neat.
voice of God? See, because I don't meet
Morgan
people at
Freeman.
the charity stuff so much.
Right.
I met Morgan Freeman because
I was surprised he was not on your list.
I just, I forget.
Right.
But I met him because I was the person who was showing the realtor around when we were moving out of our building that was 2 buildings ago at my office. And the realtor comes in and the rest of his people are standing outside. And I'm like, hurry it up. And he goes, I just want to let you know that Morgan Freeman is about to walk in this door because he wanted to see the building. And so I got to walk around and show him the building, and
Nice.
he was really fun. What was really, really fun about that, though, was that our animators sit in a very dark room, and they completely ignore me. And so I'm walking around giving this tour, and Morgan Freeman plays horsey with his hand on the top of the cubicles and stands like face to face with an animator who is looking at his monitor. He is working hard and he's looking at his monitor, and he's in his
So
voice
focused.
of God voice talking about whatever, saying very silly things.
Right.
And then they left, and I was making some joke later in the day about such and such Morgan Freeman, and the animator in question was like, what are you talking about? And I said, Morgan Freeman, who was here like
Who
an hour
stood
ago.
right
and
here.
he was standing right there, and he's like, wait, why didn't anybody tell me? And I'm like, none of you looked up. He was here.
Right.
He was talking.
The mystical
Nice.
Morgan Freeman.
It was hysterical.
It was then that no one had seen me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm not sure that we really have a lot of overtime stuff going on. We're largely just kind of
Well, it's hard to have enough energy these days.
BSing. I know. Are you guys as tired as we are? I mean, really, I am not prone to like just doing my radio show and then walking over and crashing in bed, and that's what I've been doing. And it's not that I feel sick, and it's not that I'm worried that I have like, oh my gosh, you're so tired, do you have coronavirus? It's just that we're wiped out, and I think being in this environment and like just being cooped up, the energy has nowhere to go, and I think that it like burns you out faster.
Well, and there's also the background stress.
Yeah.
That's just, the waiting.
Yeah.
It's
like
a
right now,
lot. It's really
we
hard.
would love to go get massages right now, and that's completely verboten, and
Right.
and we're both like in a ball,
But I think the whole waiting thing is very stressful for everyone.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm not just talking us. I mean, like, all of you guys, everything.
Yeah. The world, all of us.
It is very stressful for everyone you're vaguely worried all the time because we're just waiting for the giant work boot to drop.
Right.
And we know it's going to be bad, and we keep being told that it's going to be ugly. And a lot of people have said that this week is when it starts. And so there's that whole tension. And then also some people on memes pointed out that it's not that you're working from home. You're forced to be at home because of this pandemic and trying to work.
Yeah.
So it's not normal. This is not what working from home is like normally.
Well, but there's also, so working from home for most people, when you got that opportunity, unless you did it all the time because you're a contractor, if you work in an office and you got to work at home, it was usually like a privilege. And it was like, oh, okay, I don't have to go into work. I can sit in my pajamas. Ostensibly, I'll be able to get a lot more done because all these people won't be bothering me. It's like all of these guidelines and stuff. And because you would do that occasionally, that would let you keep your work life and your home life separate. And now they're like completely intertwined because, you get up, you're working from home because you have to.
Yeah.
All of your life stuff is around you, but your work stuff is now encroaching into that. And so like Jeff has got to go to work. There is no way for you to do your job from home.
Nope.
You just like can't do it. And me, I always work from home because I do the radio show, and that's like my thing. But my escape is like getting out of the house, and I haven't been able to do it. And even so, like I'm looking forward to going to give blood because it's an excuse to get out of the house, and it's like a legitimate excuse, and whatnot. We have the Natural Habitat Project, which is the Fozzie the Bear Studebaker that we really want to do. I have found one. There's a lady who doesn't exactly know what's going on with her life, so I don't know what's going to happen to this car. We may lose it, but it was a good car in pretty decent shape for a ridiculously low amount of money. But we've been sequestered in here. We have guidelines
Yeah.
that we're not supposed to go out. And so I posted asking if I knew a mechanic, because mechanics, so like right now, if you need to have your car worked on, you can do that. That is considered an essential task. And you can go to the mechanic, you can have them work on your car, and that's an approved activity. And so like I'm like, I can't go anywhere. Can I find a mechanic to go look at this car? And I talked to a couple mechanics who were like, yeah, that's way better than what I'm doing, which is sitting on my butt because nobody realizes they can get their car worked on right now. So they're not doing much. It's just a weird world. And all of the stuff that we would normally I would just drive down and meet this lady and look at her car.
Yeah.
And we
And it's
can't do that.
also having to make that decision about what is essential and what isn't.
Right.
You
Well,
know, like-
and we
like-
have guidelines that are posted online, which are good from the
right,
city.
but like running to get donuts is technically okay if the donut store is open because you're going to get food, they'll bring it out to you and whatever.
Right.
But is it really essential that you have donuts?
Right.
Is it worth your life?
Well,
Because that's the gamble that you're making.
Is it a morale thing?
Yeah.
Do you need donuts for morale because you feel sad and you desperately want donuts?
It's a
You know.
rough decision every time you have to decide what to do. And then the poor people who I feel so badly for, there's all the people that have lost their jobs. And then there's all the people that have to teach their kids now. That is insane. Jeff, are you teaching Serena now?
Yeah, well, she's still doing the online classes through the high school.
But she's old enough to handle doing that on her own.
Yeah,
she's like 14.
Yeah.
She's
So, but there are people who have like, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and suddenly they're trying to work from home and trying to keep these kids on task.
Yeah.
I don't know how people are doing it without exploding.
Well, and a lot of people.
Sesame Street.
Well, but Sesame Street only goes to a certain age limit, and there are an awful lot of
understood.
folks who aren't really prepared to do homeschooling because they have basically put their kids in the hands of teachers who are the trained professionals, and now they're having to switch gears. And I've been hearing from teachers on Facebook who've been having difficulty with the technology, so conducting classes by Zoom or pre-recording their lectures. One of our friends, Brent, poor guy, keeps recording lectures that don't record, that fail, that get deleted, that he's had all these technical issues, and his lectures are like an hour and a half long. And so he doesn't know until he just put an hour and a half into this lecture that it didn't go.
That's terrible.
And so, everybody from every angle is having to adapt and having to make all of this stuff work, but it doesn't always work, It's one thing for us to get online and to do our show, and as much as we like to think our show is a necessary thing, in reality it's not. We're not teaching classes. This is escapist stuff. We talk about
How
nerd
else are
stuff.
they going to learn about pizza? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
But
Well,
it's important to win the quiz on pizza.
that's the thing. Yeah. Although in a perfect world, we'd have won the pizza quiz, and then pizza would have arrived as a prize.
That would be nice.
That would have been good.
Yeah. In answer to your earlier question, Sean, the Disneyland map couch tour,
Yes.
it is not David's videos. They are, he might have done some of them,
Right.
but they're videos from YouTube.
He found online. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool.
So it's
Nice.
it's pretty
It's a
amazing.
neat thing. In case you missed this at the beginning of the show, we were talking about our buddy David, who's one of the what they call pass holes, or people who have annual passes and go a lot to Disneyland, and so because he's going through the same withdrawals we are, he created this Google document that you can go look it up, click on all of the attractions, and get some sort of video or other reward from it, where you can, you do somebody's ride through or whatever. There is no way to get churros yet, unfortunately.
Yeah, there is.
Have not figured that out.
I have a recipe for churros. I told you 2 days ago I would make you churros.
Okay.
And you were not impressed. So
Well,
we
I
have
mean,
not
I
had
always like
churros.
churros, but there's, you can't get churros through his map.
No, you can't
Right.
get churros.
There's
from
no
the
way
map.
to get
But
the snacks
if
delivered
you guys
to you.
want me to provide you with a churros recipe, I would be happy to do it. And because we ordered food online and they substitute stuff out instead, and I told the guy to do this, so it's not his fault. He said there were no small vegetable oils. I wanted one that was about like this big. And so he got me the only size that was available, which was a gallon.
It's like a gallon.
I have a gallon of vegetable oil. So I'll have that for the rest of my life unless I start making donuts.
Well, it's going to go rancid before that, I think.
So we better start making donuts, just saying.
I see. Yeah.
It was really funny. But
And Audrey, in case you're still watching, I just wanted to say I have my teacup that you gave me.
that's awesome.
Yeah, she was over on Facebook.
Yeah, Audrey was just on. She said that Dole Whip Mix is available on Amazon. And Scott Beckstead's like, just use Postmates.
From Disneyland?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
we can't get the ones from Disneyland. But
Yeah.
Audrey says that Scott set up his
Oh, they
office
have
in the barn.
they have churros at Pollo Loco.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well,
But
that
I
would work.
have a gallon of vegetable oil. What am I going to do with it?
I don't know.
Gotta make donuts.
I wonder what else. And the reason why I looked up the churro recipe is because my sister-in-law posted a Mickey beignet recipe.
Oh, wow.
So basically, I should go back into David's link and post all of the
all
recipes.
of the recipes.
Although I
yeah.
should look and see what it has. Like if you click on the map, if you click on the restaurants, what happens? Let me see.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Disney
And
dining.
Tough one.
one of the restaurants,
Oh, it doesn't have Disney dining.
which was like the Jolly Holiday restaurant or whatever, they had the Matterhorn macarons that you can't
Oh,
get.
there you go.
They've got Oga's Cantina.
Yeah.
I'll have to talk to
You can
David about
you can
this.
have boozy drinks, but you can't have churros. We've got our priorities, I tell you.
Yeah, there's no link on the mint julep bar. You could get a mint julep recipe, and
Oh, see, there you go.
man, I'm gonna have to have words with him.
Well, talk to David, and get editing rights. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
But then you guys are on your own to make them, so that's the tough part. But at least you have the recipes, for a rainy day, which would be
So-
really great.
I am gonna have to go because I gotta get up early. But
Okay.
you guys have fun.
Well, good luck. Have a good weekend. I'll talk to you shortly.
Yeah.
Jeff and I had all these great plans to work on his car when the weather cleared, which it has done, and now we're not allowed to do that.
And then something else there. Yeah.
Curse you. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. We're just having a Rosanna Dana year.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. Have a good one, man.
All right.
Bye.
We will talk to you later on.
All right. Bye-bye.
Go sign him off there. Click, click, click. There we go. Yeah, I'd like to find a way to get Jeff to have his video going, have like Skype in there. Although it's interesting how big a run on video cameras there have been. If we didn't have all these video cameras already set up for the show from years back, we would be out of luck. Which would be a drag. We did take one of them out to the other room and do it up for the unboxing thing, which actually worked really well. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So we shall, and the idea was too is that whatever if we're building a Lego kit or we're
My sewing circle. is
Colleen's
supposed to be
working on
from
her
there.
sewing circle and stuff. It's the sewing circles when tomorrow.
I did the sewing circle last Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and the next one is on Tuesday.
It's on Tuesday.
But I haven't
Okay.
advertised it yet,
Got
other
it.
than here. And the movie, I think, is going to be on Sunday, which means I need to advertise that.
Okay,
starting
and that's
right
going to be
away.
Austin Land.
Austin Land.
Okay, I'll make sure you have that. We did that on Cast, and Cast is really low resolution, so I want to find something a little better that can maybe show it a better resolution, because all those costumes are beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're fun and cool, and even more so for like the dressmaker.
Yeah.
It's even better costumes.
That's also on the list.
Right. So we shall see. We shall see how it goes. And I don't know why Facebook says that it's still the unboxing. That really should have changed.
Rude.
I knew because it changed over on Twitch. It's got the proper thing on Twitch. It's got our date in the episode and whatnot. We're on episode 39 for the year. So I have no idea. I appreciate all you guys kind of chiming in and poking around and. Oh, Liz says they have really good churros at Benny's.
Oh, I didn't need to know that.
Benny's Tacos. We can never really get. I've had the ones at Costco. They're pretty good. I can never really get into Benny's because Benny's is so crowded. There's like so many people there, and it's crazy. And we last time we tried to go, they were painting, and I had to run outside.
Yeah.
Asthma attack, which was crazy.
It's hard there because they do so much to go business that it's difficult to get in.
You know what I
It's
miss?
hard to park.
I miss these, and I don't know, maybe I just haven't seen them because our local Taco Bell is attached to a KFC, which means they have a limited menu. Taco Bell used to have micro churros that were called cinnamon crispas.
Oh, yeah.
They were so good.
No,
Yeah,
not really.
I liked them.
They were okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I liked them. I obviously don't have as much taste as she does. I thought they were good. She's making faces. They were good.
No.
I could see those faces with my glasses off.
I don't know if I like churros with a cream filling. Honestly, like the donuts that I like the best, like I can't stand Randy's Donuts anymore.
Not anymore.
And just so that you guys who are not local
Man.
know, Randy's Donuts is the place that Iron Man went and sat inside the giant donut.
Right.
It's Randy's Donut.
That's Randy's
And
Donuts.
it's been there forever.
And they were great.
They used to
They
be
were
really, really good.
great.
And then the owners aged out and sold the restaurant to, I don't know if it was like a restaurant group that they sold it to.
I don't know.
And the restaurant group was like, oh, we're not going to change it. But immediately they started opening other branches.
Other locations, and they went super trendy.
And now all of their donuts are hipster donuts. Like, covered with Captain Crunch.
They gentrified our donuts.
Yeah.
I am very sad. They were so good.
And Boba Kit, you never will have a true Randy's donut. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they're
they
just not
were
the same.
really good. And you can't even get a decent, what my favorite donut is, and my favorite donut is a cake crumb donut. I like it. It's like what they were eating in World War II.
Right. Well, and so
plain.
there still is, and it's not too far from Randy's Donuts, but there still is I think it's called King's Donuts, and it is another large donut stand that I don't think is owned by anybody but a
Never
little
even
mom
heard
and
of
pop.
King's Donuts.
Oh, really? I think it's pretty close, and so we will have to go there instead and see if they are still around. I'm gonna go look them up.
They are at 12920 Hawthorne Boulevard.
And as I recall, they're still one of those, big donut-y, on the roof kind of places.
Well, I don't need to have a big donut on the roof. I just want old-fashioned donuts, which, I don't know. This picture does not look like old-fashioned donuts.
Well, and it doesn't look like the one I'm thinking of either. So maybe it's not King's. But so there's the big donut drive-in, which I think is what Randy's became.
I was looking at King's Donuts, which is a dessert shop.
Donut
as opposed
King.
to-
Donut King is what I'm talking about.
Oh. And everybody online is like, why are we listening to them
Talk about
argue
donuts?
about
I know.
local donuts?
It's under the weird California
Is it in Culver
thing.
City?
Gardena is one. There's also
That's Donut King too, by the way.
Yes, it is. There's also like Kindle's Donuts. There's Dale's Donuts.
Yeah, there's a donut store within walking distance from us that has fine donuts.
Yeah, they're
okay.
perfectly okay.
Yeah,
But
they're
I'm just thinking of
acceptable.
Kit has not had that big donut experience. So
Road trip, road trip, road trip.
If only. That's the thing. Is it considered social distancing if you're driving across the country and you don't meet another human being?
All right, everybody, what's your favorite donut? Laura's is a French cruller with chocolate drizzle.
French crawlers, eh? Totally,
Did
totally
Kit
get like
say
an
what her
old fashioned,
favorite
eh?
Liz, what's your favorite?
Oh, Shipley's in Houston. I think I went to Shipley's Budala when I was in Houston.
Donut Man in Glendora is so good, Melody. And Allison, I'm so sorry to tell you, but Randy's has really gone downhill.
They've dropped. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've dropped. They're opening storefronts in malls now. It's not the same.
And the quality of their donuts
Right.
is not
Well,
as
what
good.
they're doing-
The donuts are bigger now.
If you guys have heard of like Voodoo Donuts or Psycho Donuts or whatever, that's the
Hipster
route they've
donuts.
gone. Is they've gone to these really weird, trendy donuts that are like not just normal donuts. And honestly, I like a donut to be just like a normal donut. The way like pizza, I just like a normal pizza. You know, it doesn't have to be crazy.
Well, you like deep dish pizza.
I do.
Michael Cravens likes chocolate bars. Audrey
okay.
says the best Orlando donut place is Little Blue Donut Company.
But Michael Cravens has a donut history because Michael used to work.
Oh.
Michael used to work at Foster's when we were in college, and
Audrey
he would
likes
bring
Boston
us
cream
donuts.
with custard. Michael has a donut
He
history.
has a donut history. He has a history with donuts.
Scott Beckstead likes a plain cake.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Sean, what is your favorite? What do you like?
Oh, I like a really good jelly, like a good jelly. And for a non-jelly, I like a devil's food. I like a triple
like the chocolate
like a
chocolate.
devil's food cake with chocolate frosting with chocolate sprinkles on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wildcard 9 likes chocolate butternut crunch.
Oh.
Laura likes, I already said that, French crullers.
French color with chocolate drizzle.
Camera Mikey Longo likes eclairs donuts. Liz likes, I think this is French cruller with an apple fritter as an alternative. Laura also likes eclairs. Boba Kit likes glazed donuts.
Mm-hmm.
TKDS66 likes plain donuts from Winchell's.
Or a bear claw.
Or a bear claw, yeah.
That's cool.
I think a bear claw counts as a donut, Kit.
So yeah, totally. And so Winchell's is funny. So they used to be like this prevalent chain that was everywhere, and then they started closing their stores. But they're always recognizable because no one takes the sign down. And so you see these businesses that have this rounded triangle of a sign, and you're like, yep, used to be a Winchell's.
Audrey says she also likes Krispy Kreme glazed donuts, but only fresh, like when the sign is blinking hot now and they're
Like
coming out
in
of the
the
machine.
restaurant? Yeah, those are good.
I have to say, though, I heard that Krispy Kreme for the month of October had, October or November, they had apple fritters.
Ooh.
Not apple fritters, hot apple cider donuts.
Oh,
They had
okay.
apple cider donuts, like the ones we were trying to get when we were in Washington, D.C.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, they won't be as good as we had in oh my God, they were so good.
Do you remember
I think I ate them all.
the Las Vegas Krispy Kreme donut disaster?
Yes, I do. It was a major pileup.
Where were we? We were in
A casino.
Bellagio or something, like
I
the
don't
Venice
even. We were
one.
in it. Yeah.
We were. I think we were in Bellagio. We had gone into their little food courty area, and they had a Krispy Kreme where they were making them right there. And the guy making them was talking to somebody. He was distracted, whatever was going on, and the donuts started piling up and bashing into each other and smooshing. And we were trying to get his attention. We finally got his attention. He ran over. And he stopped the assembly line and he fixed it.
But then he had all these crushed
He
donuts.
had a tray full of donuts, and we were just going to buy like 2 donuts.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Here, you saved the assembly line. Here is a tray full of donuts," and he gave us like 12
And
donuts.
we're like, we cannot eat 12 and Krispy Kremes are only good
Right
away.
now, right?
So we walked around the food court giving donuts to people.
Oh, it was
who
we were
thought
the
we were
we were the
crazy.
donut fairies, and
Yeah.
it was amazing. And they were a little beat up, but they still were terrific.
Yeah.
And they were free.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
It was really fun.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
The Melody, Sean and I were going to the LA County Fair one day, and we stopped at Donut Man in Glendora specifically to get
did.
those strawberry donuts.
Yeah.
Those
Those
were
were
good.
good.
And they had peach too.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
That was good. I like my donut stores to be a little funky. You know, a good donut store, and Foster's Donuts was like this. I used to have
The one that Michael Cravens worked at?
yeah, but there was
Or
another
do you
one.
mean the chain?
There was one I hung out in Thousand Oaks that my buddy Kelly used to work at, and I had no money, I had no job, and he would give me donuts under the counter. He was a nice guy, and so I would sit there and sketch, and we'd talk, and because nobody would be in there in the middle of the day, like at all. It would be like the morning and the evening, and nobody would be in this restaurant. So just hang out, and you know, they smell like just a little too much of sugar, and it's like and yeast, and they're clean, but they're just weird. It's like somebody shoehorned this into the weirdest space. I like that. I appreciate the weirdness of it.
Okay, more updates on what people like.
Okay.
Chris likes cream cheese danishes. Wildcard9 says apple cider donuts from the local apple groves are amazing.
Ugh.
Which we don't have local apple groves. The
No,
nearest
but
one
we
is
have
2
had
hours
those.
away.
We have had that.
Yeah.
We have stopped at places just to get
Yeah.
those.
Chris thinks Krispy Kremes are too sweet.
I can't say he's wrong.
Lord Silverhand or
Yes.
Hound? Is it
Lord
Hound?
Silverhand.
Lord Silverhand said he logged into Twitch just to give his input on donuts.
Oh, nice.
He said a nice lemon filled, but in the fall he likes a maple cream.
Oh,
Lemon
that's
filled are
Colleen.
good.
Colleen likes
Yeah.
a good maple cream.
Maple bars are
and
good.
I like a good lemon donut.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be good filling though, not crap out
And
of
Laura
a can.
also likes chocolate donuts.
Yeah, chocolate's great. Now I'm gonna have
cut up with all the donuts.
now I'm gonna have donut withdrawals. Like,
Yeah.
donut.
Sad.
I know, but
And everything's closed already because of the
right.
quarantine.
There's
lockdown,
there's
safer at
kind of
home.
nothing open past 6:00 these days.
Yeah.
So usually I go to Coffee Bean, and sometimes we'll get a pastry, and I always get a coffee. And they were closing at 6 for a while, and we don't even know if our local one is open.
Yeah, we're not sure.
Yeah, so it's like I haven't had coffee for a couple of weeks, and I'm like, I'm not going like through super withdrawals, but for me it was a total treat, and I don't know how I'm as energetic as I am like right now, because usually the coffee is my Kickstarter. But if you go back and listen to the start of the show, I can guarantee I will be slower than my usual welcome to the show, you know, kind of Kermit thing. But yeah, I could go for some good donuts right now.
Can't have any.
I know.
Yeah.
There's
Oh my gosh.
always tomorrow. There was never
chocolate donuts with chocolate icing and peanuts.
there was never a Rankin Bass thing about
donuts.
About donuts. I love a good cake donut with chocolate and peanuts on it. And it doesn't have to be devil's food, but devil's food is better in my mind. But there's something about chocolate and peanuts, like what is it, Mr. Goodbar from Hershey's? Just like chocolate and peanuts. That is so good. That is so good. I have an affinity for Nestle's chocolate, or not Nestle's, Hershey's chocolate. I grew up in that area, was born in that area, and so my first chocolate was probably Hershey's. Colleen, not so much. She's not a fan.
I think that Hershey's is crap because they have
Right.
too many fillers.
Well, and I feel
better
like
chocolate than
also
that.
it's different on the West Coast than the East Coast because
Probably.
they have a different mix
Well,
to keep it from melting.
And also, the chocolate when we were younger was better and had fewer fillers.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
Lord Silverhand says that he went into a hotel that had a Krispy Kreme display, and he wasn't all that impressed. But I'm going to have to say that a Krispy Kreme display, even though it's owned by Krispy Kreme, they have them in 7-Elevens and stuff.
Sure.
It's not. It's crap.
It's not the same.
You have to actually go to a Krispy Kreme where they have the neon sign that says hot donuts now.
Yeah.
And you have to watch the donut coming out of the machine, and then they put it in a bag and hand it to you.
Yeah,
you
that
eat
is
it.
the best way to
That's
do it.
the only way.
I
to
will
eat a Krispy
say
Kreme.
though, and don't try this with Trejo's donuts
Yeah.
because this just didn't work out very well. I killed our toaster oven by trying to reheat a Trejo donut. There was like too much grease or something, and it caused a horrible fire.
It was a very minor fire.
It
was
wasn't
not a
big.
horrible fire.
It killed our toaster oven.
But it could have killed our whole house.
There were
so,
flames. It was bad.
Yes,
So-
Sean was quick thinking and put it all
But
out.
I do like a Krispy Kreme that has been reconstituted through the microwave. I think that works very well. And I will take that as a close second. If I can't stand there and watch them make it, putting it through the microwave for 10 seconds actually is really good. And it has no right to be. I don't know why that works, but boy, it's not bad. Because you can take like a day-old Krispy Kreme and fire it up in the microwave, and it's good. So, yep, microwave donuts.
All right, so I'm thinking it's time to lock it down.
Head for the sunset.
Go to bed.
Okay, fair enough. I do appreciate all you guys hanging around. Gosh, we got 16 people over on Twitch
Hi
right
to
now.
Jason Ibarra.
Hi,
Just
Jason.
Said, hey, everybody.
You missed all the Disney talk earlier. Jason would have got in on that.
Yeah.
He's I assume that Jason is going through Disney withdrawals too.
Yeah.
Because I saw and he's no slouch as a cook. I saw him on his Facebook page with a homemade churro trying to recapture the Disney magic.
Oh.
And it wasn't happening for him.
Oh, no.
So yeah.
So maybe my churro recipe won't be good enough.
I don't know. It depends. We'll have to see. Do you have like blue sugar or red sugar or anything fancy like that? You know, kind of spice it up a little bit. Lightsaber churros or something.
I can make it.
There you go. So
You've seen me make Cthulhu peeps. How do you
I
think I
have
got
seen
green
you make
sugar?
Cthulhu peeps.
I made it.
So, but yeah, the Disney withdrawals are real, y'all. That's pretty bad. But that's okay. We will survive. Is Audrey listening to the same version of Pride and Prejudice you are?
She's the one who introduced me to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just going to tell her, Audrey, I have been listening to that Pride and Prejudice, and
Yeah.
you probably missed this earlier, but Sean last weekend unboxed
DJ Rex.
DJ Rex, and he played Jennifer L. reading Pride and Prejudice out of
Prejudice.
DJ Rex. It was hysterical.
It was really funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you got to tune in. But oh my gosh, it's like
It's
past midnight.
1 in the morning
yeah,
for you?
go
It's
go
almost
go
2?
go to bed. She's like, I have nothing to do. We're all locked in our houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we should go too. I really appreciate everybody for hanging out here. If you're on KryptonRadio.com, thank you. You can stay there 24/7. We've always got something there for you. I'll be back on the air there tomorrow to wrap up the week at 9 a.m. for Good Morning Tatooine. It's 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 noon Eastern Time. You can find me on Discord and stuff while we're doing that. Make song requests, make stupid comments, whatever. We can't broadcast that show anywhere else like we're doing this one because the music is licensed. And while we license our music, we don't license it for YouTube and Twitch and things like that. So I'm sorry that we can't do that there because that would be a blast. But it would also mean I would have to put clothes on. And I can't just sit here in my robe and do it. So I'm kind of grateful for that. We will do this again next Thursday. You can always send us notes and things. Tell us what you want. If there's something you want to talk about, we are always glad to do that. And like the comments over on Twitch and the comments over on Facebook and things like that, we are always willing to let you guys hijack the show if you have an interesting topic that you want to hear about. So please do that. On behalf of Kit Boba Kit Sovine, who has been posting all of the really great links for the things that we've been talking about, both over on Facebook and on Twitch. Thank you so much for that. And on behalf of Jeff Solodanoho, who has gone to bed because he goes to work at like 4:30 in the morning, he's appreciative that you listen to.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And I am Sean Obi-Sean Crosby. As always, guys, may the Force be with you. My problem is I always have to find like the right software. Where are we? We have like a credit page. Da, da, da. These are all the people who work on our show. This is Cosmo Moose does our theme, and we have all sorts of great people. So we are appreciative, as always. Have a great one, and we will see you next week. It wouldn't deselect the other program. I think